Fuck. What is good, Vancouver? It is your man, Emcee Ski. Beyond the lyrics. The homie Kavawon is not feeling well today, so I'm left to my own devices. It's just me and a couple of guests stopping through. We got my man, ST Elements. He gonna be making his way here shortly. Hopefully K-Rec, DJ K-Rec, the legendary DJ K-Rec. He said he might join us. And then I got the homie in the back. I'm gonna move out the way. He don't want to be on the screen. But we got my man, Emcee Tanfield Talbot, a.k.a. Paul, on the guitar. You know what I mean? He part of the Beats, Blues, and Bars that I rock with. So I just want to thank y'all for tuning in for another Beyond the Lyrics. So the weather is nice. We opened up the front door, so it's not like a sauna up in here. So how you feeling, Paul? How you doing today?
I'm pretty good.
Pretty good?
No complaints. Sun's out.
No complaint. You want to sit and chill until my man ST?
I suppose. Should I bring the guitar or just chill? Right.
Just chill. You bring the guitar later.
Yep. All right. I'll just come and chill.
So you can co-pilot with me.
Yep. I'll this co-piloting, but I'll do what I can. All right. Here we go. What's up, Bob?
So how you doing, bro?
Oh, living the dream.
Living the dream. I know you're enjoying summer since you don't have kids to teach. Well, you still dealing
Are
with.
we allowed to swear on this podcast?
You can do what you want.
Really? No,
So-
fuck them kids. Anyway, for real.
So, but aren't you doing like guitar lessons and stuff?
Yeah, doing guitar lessons down at Roundhouse Community Center, and just trying to get something built for that, right? So, I think a good avenue for people and as kids especially is just to get them into music, right? So
Yeah.
Get them earlier, get them while they're young, right? So,
Definitely. How long you been playing the guitar?
a guitar. Let's see. I'm 47 years old.
Youngin.
Started when I was like maybe 25, so not
Okay.
not a whole long time. Like
That's 22 years.
22 years, yeah.
That's just pretty long.
So, it doesn't feel like that. It's been that long, but it's just something I really like to do, right? So it's
Well, especially post-COVID, like time just fly. Like a year's a couple of weeks.
Well, I was thinking that the other day. It's just like, because I'm off for summer, and no kids, and now I'm just like, oh man, I've only got a month left. But it's like, where did the time go, right?
Yeah.
It just flies. Finding as you get older with more gray hair is just like the years just go by, right?
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah. But it's good you get a little break.
Yeah.
And you went to Mexico.
I did.
How was Mexico?
Mexico was great. I'll be honest. I never had any desire to go, but as soon as we went, I was kind of like, okay, all right, that's cool. Like, I mean, obviously, the resorts aren't your actual Mexico.
Mexico, yeah.
The fact that we just kind of went and had a nice time and vacation is just, just what we needed, right? So
I think we just as human beings we got to recharge.
yeah.
You got to unplug sometime.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now I could, I found I can tell when we need a recharge. If wifey's like, "Hey, I need a recharge," and it's like, "Okay, that's fine. Let's get the hell out of here." If
Andrea like Paul.
yeah, if she's saying, "Hey,
What up, man? What up?
oh, yeah,
What an adventure.
We had an adventure in here. We trying to figure this stuff out because my co-host is sick, so Paul jumping in helping out, and
see, man.
and my producer isn't here. So luckily, my man Jack that works here, he came and hooked us up. So we actually started on time. Usually we'd be like 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, good. As long as I'm on the usual
You're
flow.
good, man. You're good.
So if you want, Paul, thank you for sitting
No
in,
problem. Yeah.
and you come back and join us later in the show.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna get my man. So is it STL or ST Elements?
Wait, it was originally ST Elements, and then it was originally STL, and then it became ST Elements. So
Okay.
you're good either way.
Good either
Yeah,
way.
the old school still going STL for
Yeah.
sure.
So thank you for joining us, man.
Yo, it's so good to be here, K-Ski. Hey, listen, all the listeners, man, you already know New Jerusalem. That's like my favorite new record, man. I'm such a fan of K-Ski.
Oh,
so
man.
if you're listening to this, you came to the right place.
So funny story. Me and my wife, we go to the gas station in White Rock.
Yeah.
We at Tim Hortons line.
Uh-huh.
and you come up and did you ask my wife first?
I had to ask your wife first. Like, I kind of knew it was you.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, like, I kind of just discovered you. So I discovered K-Ski through our mutual homie, K-Rec. And they made this dope record, New Jerusalem. And I was like, man, this guy's like, this is my vibe. This is the guy I need in my galaxy, you know? And so I was like, finding him. Oh, okay, this is him. All right, yeah. You know, getting my new fan situation up and running. And then I'm chilling in my local gas station, just like K-Ski says, and I'm looking and I'm like, bro, that's the guy. So I had to roll up, on your wife. And I was like, hey, pardon me, what's that gentleman's name? And she was like, Kevin or whatever. And then I quickly checked on the socials. I'm like, yeah, K-Ski is Kevin. All right. So then I hit you up. So,
and it's funny because when I saw you talking to my wife, I'm like, and shit, I heard the name K-Ski and this and that. I'm like, do I owe him money or something? What's going on? Well, it's funny because my wife, when we go down to Seattle, because, you know, I was signed to a record label in Seattle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, many years ago, 2003 Artist of the Year in Seattle.
No way. Are you from Seattle?
No, I'm from Jersey by way of Carolina. I was born in Carolina, raised in New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
But my last duty station in the Navy was in Seattle.
Okay.
So when I got out the Navy, because I was doing music in the Navy, shout out to my People's Lost Tribe. I was doing music in the Navy. So when I got out, I was like, you know what? You know, me at the time, my first wife, and we just had our firstborn. I was like, I like Seattle. It's cool here. Let me get out and see what the music scene is like.
Yeah.
And I got out and start.
That's a good city to explore that in for sure.
Yeah. When I got out the Navy, started doing music and stuff. My man Ty Gonti, shout out to Ty Gonti. He had a little studio set up, and one of the beats he produced, it got me. Some dude heard it, want me to jump on the track, and then it got put on the soundtrack, All or Nothing soundtrack that had like Master P, had a lot of West Coast rappers, which I was kind of confused because my track was straight East Coast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but from that, and I was doing shows and just creating buzz and stuff. So me and my team, we were killing it. You know, when you hear me say Four Corners, I'm talking about my peoples around Seattle. We were just killing it. And so when I got with Kelly, my wife now, and when we go in Seattle, sometimes people be like, because they know me by Mr. Ock, short for October.
Okay.
And they be like, yo, Ock, when you coming out with music? And she's like, but this Kevin, though.
So that's a good look, though.
Yeah, and that's how she felt with you. She's like, he like your music and stuff, but all I see is Kevin. You know what I mean?
Especially it's one thing to get recognized in like a big urban metropolis like Seattle for hip hop, but like you said, to be at the gas station in South Surrey getting like some bagel or something.
Yeah.
Have homie be like, yo, K-Ski, I'm your biggest fan. I mean, that's a good wife moment. My wife and my kids. That does not happen to me very often. Let me just say, for start, that doesn't happen to me too much. But around, I'm like, might get to experience that tiny little bit of like big fish, small pond experience here in this part of the world. So around here, I might get a like, hey man, are you ST Elements or something? And then my kids are like, whoa, dad, like it's the best feeling, man. I love it.
My kids, they. Matter of fact, I took my kids, the two boys. I got 3 kids, 2 boys and the daughter. They're in their 20s now. But when they were younger, I took them to the studio in Seattle. I actually got them on a mixtape introducing.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. But I try to play my music and stuff coming up. They be like, Dad, nah, Dad. You know what I mean? So
me and K-Rec joke around about that. He told me that one time. I was talking about how my family is like they're not as impressible, and he had a really funny joke about why your wife can never be impressed with your music because they know you on that deeper, more intimate level. So they're like, but I have to say my family, before I go, let me just say they're so supportive and so dope. And even as I left to come down here today, my son was like the whole way down the driveway, he's like, just be you, Dad. Your record's great, Dad. Blah, blah, blah. Kill it on the radio, Dad. He was being amazing. And he's 13, so he's like hanging in there for me.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and same thing. My wife is definitely supportive. She got her jokes because she's like, that's Kevin though. This is the butt crack in the house. You know what I'm saying and stuff. I call it black crack, but she. So yeah, you definitely right. It's like they see you.
Yeah.
you know, all the papers and the rhymes, and you in there mumbling stuff. And
But they're like, you were just crying because you couldn't fix the toilet last week, man. We know the real you. Come on, man.
well, my wife thing is, you remember all these rhymes, but you can't remember when I give you some, tell you to go pick up some bread from the store.
Do you have a brain like me where it really only is great memory-wise for lyrics, like songs and lyrics? That's all my brain really honestly can excel at. Like every other aspect of life, it's always been sort of actually kind of a blessing for me because in my work, I was a addictions counselor here in East Vancouver for 12 years, and now I'm a mental health worker. And so the work's always like been kind of like fairly intense, you know? Mm-hmm. But my brain is like a total focus, dump. Total focus, dump. That's like how it works, you know? It's like whatever's right in front of me, I'm fully absorbed in it. And then once I turn away from that, it's just like on to the next thing. That's just how my brain has learned to operate. And so it aids me in those parts of life, you know, like in those aspects of life, it's such a superpower.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like paying your taxes or remembering to like renew your driver's license, or like if it's not right in front of me, it's not happening, bro.
I hope my wife not watching this. She probably rolling her eyes now like, yes, that's Kevin right there and stuff.
We need a support group.
Well,
ladies, help us out.
I told her, I was like, maybe you need to throw it in some bars and stuff. When you send me to go on an errand to pick up something, you need to put it in rhyme form or something. And then
you know what? I started making K-Rec helped me with this actually. This was way back in the day, but my wife was an English teacher for high schools, and I made a jam that was breaking down all of the poetic devices that they would typically teach. I think she taught like grade 9 or 10 or whatever. So I was like, what are the poetic devices that you mostly try to teach the kids?
Yeah.
And then the song like broke each one down, like showed an example of it.
Ah.
And the thought was exactly just what you're saying. If in like school, I did like very, very tough in school. Like school was not easy for me at all.
Yeah.
But if stuff could have been put into like, but I can tell you like all the lyrics from Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back or whatever from that time in my life. You know what I mean? Like that shit's stuck. It's in there. I learned so much from it. Yeah. And so I was just like, man, if they could have just put the curriculum into hip hop, man, I would have like aced it.
It's funny you said that because when I was I'm supply chain professional for the past 30 something years. So when I was working in Bellingham in a warehouse, I put the SOP, standard operating procedures, for the guys. I put it in rhyme form.
Right.
And I was rhyming it to them so they can remember how to scan parts in and out of inventory and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. We
did that too for my daughter. There was like a test she had. I'm going to mess this up. I apologize, Lucy. But there was a test she had, and she put what she had to learn into a rap. She asked me to help her, and we did that. Mm-hmm. And she did super good on the test. And then Ndidi Cascade, local legend, what's up, Ndidi? She came to my daughter's school with her school presentation project metaphor, and they had said to the students, like, does anybody want to come up and try to kick a rap on the mic? And my daughter had this like ready to go super ill rap about, I don't know, it was about like physics or something, or like chemistry or something. So she had this like super dope like, mega knowledge rap ready to go that the teachers were hyped on, and she got to go up and bust her rhyme with Ndidi Cascade.
What?
It was pretty cool.
That's dope. Yeah, shout out Ndidi, man. Matter of fact, she was on the show before, and I done a couple of performances around with her. Like it's like anytime you meet somebody that's out here making moves, you say Ndidi, they all know her.
Yeah, for sure.
She's definitely a pillar of the culture and the community here.
She shines such a big light, man, and like I always look forward to the next time I'm gonna get like a bell from Ndidi Cascade to rock a show or do something, because I do have to say too, like how it is in the. Well, I'm interested to hear how you would think it is, man, because you've rocked hip hop in many other cities and been a practitioner and an artist of it based out of other cities. Mm-hmm. My feeling is that in Vancouver, there's a lot of artists, and it feels a bit like crabs in a bucket sometimes, where it's like there's not enough venues, there's not enough audience, there's not enough for all of us. Mm-hmm. So people are almost like not competitive per se, but they won't they won't try to help each other out so much.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
I mean, I always try to like be like as gracious as I can be to other artists. Like, come be on my album, come rock this show. Let's
Yeah.
let's make it a community. Let's make this a vibe, a scene. You know. But Ndidi is like a kindred spirit like that.
Yeah.
Is
Yes.
my point I was getting to. Like, she's one of the artists out here who I can say, like, she's put me on as many stages as I put her on.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that's a super short list.
Yeah.
I don't say that to big myself
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just to say, like, there's a problem. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I got, like, my couple all-stars who it's like, man, that person has put me on as much as I put them on. And, like, I love them. you
Yeah.
know?
And it's funny. I wish Kava. Shout out to my man Kava, my co-host. We talk about this.
Oh, okay.
You know, the scene, because there's so many dope artists here, but the infrastructure
Yes. Yeah.
isn't there, you know, and that's kind of why we started, you know, this podcast. We wanted to be kind of a table where we bring people together to eat. I always do the metaphor like, okay, this person got bread over here, this person got lettuce, this person got cheese,
yeah.
he got turkey.
Yeah.
Let's all come together and make sandwiches.
Yeah, and why the fuck would you just want to eat turkey?
lettuce or just over there biting lettuce and stuff like, yo, let's come together.
Let me get you some cheese for that, man. Come on, man.
Got some turkey, some mayo, you know, so we can all come together and we eat. But like you said, it's this whole, and maybe it's because that infrastructure isn't here. Maybe that's why people feel so guarded and like, well,
Yeah.
we doing this over here.
Because the resources are more precious, you know. You could see that in any economy or any situation. If there's just very, very precious resources, people are gonna like not be in their best nature, you know. So, but we have to be
That's
like
true.
that's on the new record. I have that line where I say, never coming from a scarcity mindset. Scarcity made to scarce cities, because the scarcity mindset is a fucked up mindset, you know.
Yeah,
But if you
yeah.
can have an abundance mindset where you just go, man, there's enough.
Yeah.
There's more than enough for everybody. Then you will grow it from an abundance mindset. But like scarcity mindset is just there to like shut you down, you know, like fear shut down, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I got to say too, sorry, on this topic of people who make that sandwich, that beautiful sandwich you were saying, man, I got to say our mutual brother, DJ K-Rack, that dude is like the sub master at Subway, man. He's
yeah.
he is making everybody's sandwiches, man. He's like
He just
Talk
sandwich
of-
for you, sandwich for you.
man, talk about somebody like in an abundance mindset. You
Yeah.
know, where he's just like, there's enough of me to go around, man. There's enough beats, there's enough shows, there's enough. Like, he's not guarding, and he's not like. But I always just say, and I'm just happy to talk about this on your show as somebody who mutually works with him. Like,
Yeah.
there's not anybody I've seen in my like 20 years doing hip hop in this part of the world who's made more other people's shit happen.
Yeah.
You know, or like contributed to their dreams coming
Yeah.
true. Like, he just contributes to everybody's dreams, man. I love K-Rack.
Not even my solo stuff, but he's part of Beats, Blues, and Bars. So,
Yeah.
you know, he's huge. I never forget, he had hit me up one time, this is a while back. This is before the New Jerusalem project. Oh, speaking of K-Rack, he's pulling up.
He's pulling up right outside.
Yeah,
in his
yeah, we gonna
whip.
give him his flowers and stuff. But I never forget, he hit me up and he was like, "Yo, I got some beats. You want to check them out?" I was like, "Yeah, man." He sent me like 20 beats.
Yeah.
And messed me up because I couldn't work. I was like, "Man, these some hot beats."
He paralyzed you.
Yeah, because that's the thing. If you give me some beats and I gotta go to work, like you said, how mine is.
Yeah.
I'm working. I'm cutting purchase orders, but in my mind,
Yeah, for sure.
I got that beat in loop.
I love that. I love that zone, to go into that zone. And K-Rec and I right now we kind of been sticking on about like a record a year loop. And when that season comes up, where K-Rec's like, "Hey man, we gotta start like getting into this new record," and he sends me that batch of beats, I'm so happy because I know exactly like you said,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to basically like leave planet Earth now
Yeah,
for about
for
like
real.
a month or two, and I'm just gonna be listening to these beats, writing rhymes. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
try to focus on what I gotta do, but like,
Yeah.
yo, we're just talking about you, man.
Yeah, we talking about some dope producer named K-Rec. You want to meet that guy? we giving you your flowers.
For sure.
Big-
Actually,
big
K-Rec, it's amazing that you're just coming now because, thanks, homie, because he's so humble, man. So like he would be like so tortured by this conversation,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's better you weren't here, man. But go back and check it out on YouTube, K-Rec.
Yeah. So you already know how I am when you get that email from K-Rec with the beats. Uh-oh. Oh.
Yeah, K-Rec just brought me our new stickers for our new record. Check out the stickers, man. So dope.
It's dope.
Art by his wife. Shout out Leslie. What's up, Leslie?
Shout out Leslie. Oh my goodness.
This artwork
she
is so
a comedian
dope,
up in
man.
this one.
She is so funny.
She is funny. Yeah, we had dinner with K-Rec, Leslie, Paul, and Andrew. Oh my goodness. Me and my wife, they had us laughing so hard, man.
Yeah, she's such a joy and a light in the world, man. But I didn't honestly. The thing about her is I had no idea how many different skills she has. And then like when K-Rec would start coming out with like a lot of really dope joints after getting through his cancer battle, I was just like also peeping the record covers like, man, who's doing all these dope record covers? And then he's like, oh, I saw my wife Leslie, and then man, yeah, she cooked us up this little thing of ourselves. So
she did the artwork for New Jerusalem.
Did she really?
Yeah,
and that artwork is dope.
Yeah, when K-Rec told me that, she dabbles in that, I was like, what?
Yeah.
And it's funny because I just told her the title and I think I might have said something about prayer hands.
Yeah, right.
But she took it and she had it looking with the mosaic and stuff and again, it's just so much talent.
So much
around
talent.
here.
And you know what? I would say if like one of my skills is to recognize that I lack skills and to call upon the people who have those skills.
That's a skill right there. Yeah.
I'm very like earnest, and I think like I just try to be like really authentic and loving and earnest, and just let people know, man, I need your help. You know what I mean? That for me is like a skill. So I'm like crazy blessed to have so many dope people in my life around here who could do shit because. Honestly, man, like I could not make a record. I made actually K-Rec, the way he met me was I had made a record and I made it like in my shed with like a Bside turntable, vinyl, and a drum machine and a cassette 4-track recorder cassette. Woo! And I made it, and then like I somehow got that digitized and turned it into a CD, but it was the most rugged sounding thing you could ever imagine. And then I was at the art gallery, and K-Rec was rocking there with another Emcee. And me and my best friend, Yumi Him were like, oh, we hear hip-hop. And we went like sniffing all around the corners. We're like, there it is, man. There's hip-hop. And we rolled up, and we're like, oh, we know that dude. He went to our high school, meaning K-Rec. And he was like cutting it up, like ill DJ. And we were like, what? We got to get this guy. And then the Emcee was like, I'm not going to say he was like being an asshole or dissing K-Rec necessarily, but K-Rec was doing these like super ill, really long cut solos. Yeah. And you could just see dude was getting stressed, like, stop cutting up so much or like whatever. And we were just like, nah, man, this guy can't have this DJ. Because we grew up on the DJ era of like, the DJ is like the star of the show.
Eric B. and Rakim.
Eric B. and Rakim, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Cash Money and Marvelous. Like, so we grew up on that era, right? So we were like, no, man, this guy's got to respect his DJ. And then anyways, afterwards, we were like, start talking to him, man, we didn't know you were such an ill DJ, blah, blah, whatever. And then I had this shitty 4-track drum machine record thing on me. I was like, hey, man, I made something, like, check it out. And he hit me up later and was like, man, let me give you some beats, man. He's like saving me. I think it was like a mercy thing, but he must have been like okay with the rhyming too, I guess. So he was ready to mess with me, but he knew he needed to save me too.
So before we go into your story, it's funny you mentioned that about the DJ cut. And I remember in high school performing a show in Jersey, and my boy, shout out to DJ Busy J. He used to transform all that stuff. And anytime, again, when it's time for the DJ to cut loose, he just killing it. And to the point where I'm just stepping back and be like, all right, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, for sure. That's what you got to do.
Because like you said, at that time, the DJ was kind of in the forefront. You know, for sure. Just like whether it was UTFO, Mixmaster Ice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Mantronics is another group where like the DJ was the whole thing. Mantronics was the, you know. What was the MC? It was MCT. I sometimes don't even remember his name.
MCT.
Even though I love the way he rhymes.
He also did music for Just Ice, which, funny, before we came here, I had a funny story of Just Ice was a bit, because on the song we did, for some reason, the last part of my rhyme, I think of Just Ice for some reason.
Oh, man, that's dope.
But I never forget being 15, 16 years old, Just Ice had a song called This Girl Is a Slut.
I have not heard that.
And he got DMX, not the DMX, rest in peace DMX, it's a beatbox, his DMX. And
Yeah.
and he was doing the beatbox on that track. And I never forget being 15, 16 years old. I jump in the car. I pop the cassette in my mom's car, and he's like, "This girl is a slut." My mom was like, "Boy, have you lost your mind? You playing this music in my car and stuff?"
Did she take it?
No, she like, you need to stop that music right now. So I was like, okay, I took it out. But Mantronics was definitely integral in Just Ice. He did a lot of music, because even in some of the songs, he's like, Mantronics on the beat.
Yeah.
And Mantronics used to just kill it. Very, very slept on.
People don't know actually how many just sounds of hip hop Mantronics made from scratch. Like drum machine sounds that are commonplace that were not sampled. He like cooked them up in the lab. Like there's so many sounds you hear all the time that actually come from Mantronics.
Yeah.
So if anybody listening hasn't peeped Mantronics, and also those records are just so fucking dope. Man. They're so funky. That MC is incredible.
Go down that rabbit hole. Type in Mantronics and listen to some of those beats. Same thing with Marley Marl.
Yeah.
You know, DJ Marley Marl.
Exactly.
He crafted those drum beats and stuff. So before we get into your story, I had a couple of things I want to talk about. So it seems like quite a few of our peers are releasing music, which is dope. Everybody know the Clips, but Slick Rick released new music.
Yeah.
Public Enemy.
Did Slick Rick also just have like a documentary film?
Yeah, it was kind of dope. It seemed like the project that he released also had.
It's like a companion
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
That looked incredible. I just saw little like previews for it, but they looked amazing.
And I think me and Kava touched on this last time, is that as an artist, especially with streaming and stuff, you got to find different ways to get people to engage with your music. Mm-hmm. So that was dope that Slick Rick did that. I think Nas, Mass Appeal, put that out. You know, Nas has definitely been helping a lot of cats, because I think Raekwon just released his project on Mass Appeal. And I found out, I heard some of PE, Public Enemy, release some new music. But
it's incredible. Actually, that new song with Daddy-O, I think it was called like New Kids or something like that. Anyways,
I didn't hear that
Public
one.
Enemy with Daddy-O, it was like amazing. Yeah.
That's the Sonics. Oh yeah, Daddy-O dope. Daddy-O dope. I think he's releasing new music.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he kind of keeps going.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
like
I love
amazing.
his voice.
Uh-huh.
I love his voice. And but a source told me that De La Soul is supposed to be releasing new music.
K-Rec will know that. He's their biggest fan.
They have like an album with I think it's Pete Rock or somebody.
I just heard that they have a song that's like maybe, or I don't know if it's a song, but I just saw an interview where they were talking about Pete Rock and Premier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposedly I heard through Prince Paul, but it might have just been their reissues, but they're working with Prince Paul again. So.
Oh,
man.
Prince Paul.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and Nas, I think Nas and Premier working on a project. I don't know. Let me ask you. My source told me that some new music from Big L is supposed to be dropping. Rest in peace, Big L.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to my man Paul in Trenton, New Jersey. He gave me that scoop. So if it doesn't materialize, then we gonna get on my man Paul.
Well, I'm sure he's got a lot of. I'm sure Big L's got a lot of unreleased stuff.
And I think and it's true, because you haven't really heard a lot of I don't know how you pronounce it, posthumous. What is it when a person passed and their music comes?
Oh.
Posthumous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I haven't heard a lot of Big L, whereas Pac had a lot of stuff. Biggie had some stuff.
Yeah.
So it would be kind of dope to see that. So
I just heard a new record and I'm like super in love with it. And it's an artist that I didn't really even know, but it's an artist called Blueprint. And his new record is called Vessels. And the thing that turned me on to it was J Live. Who
Okay.
I love J Live.
Okay.
And then J Live had a post, and his post said, this new Blueprint record is dope or something like that. And I was like, oh, I got to check it out then.
Yeah.
And I did. And I was like blown away. So
Okay, I'm gonna
that's
have
like
to
a
check
brand
that.
new thing. I like to hear someone like I crave to hear someone who strikes a chord with me who I've like never heard before, you know?
Okay,
And
so
it doesn't-
Blueprint.
Yeah, it doesn't happen to me enough. But this guy was like, oh, this is my shit. you
Okay,
know?
I'm
So,
gonna have to check that out. And if anybody out there listening, check out Blueprint. And so with all this, some of our peers, what is your take right now on the industry, on hip hop? Currently.
Well, you know, I've never been involved, and it's not something that's touched me. It's not touched my life as an artist too much because I always like I came up in a time here where because my homies and I started really getting involved in hip hop culture and like I would say like I got into hip hop in around 87, 88.
Okay,
And then here
okay.
we really got into the culture like as more like practitioners of
Yeah,
it
yeah.
in like the early 90s. And at that time here, there just was nothing. There was like no, I don't know about Vancouver, but I was growing up in Langley.
Okay,
And so
okay.
growing up in Langley in that time, there was no industry or no even thought of an industry or like you were just doing it strictly for love. You know, so if we were painting graffiti or having a cipher at the house with the homie DJing or whatever, like we were doing all that stuff, but we were purely doing it like just as like we love this culture.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I just kind of stayed in that lane, to be totally honest. And I've always just kind of I've never opened up my lens really to even look at the industry per se as much as like I just follow the artists that I
Yeah,
love.
that you like.
And so just like you just listed off, like if they're making records, then I guess in my brain like the industry's doing okay. But where I've kind of more what I would say is like the state of hip hop, to answer your question that way, looking at it here from my bubble that I exist in, what I've been like so hyped on over the last 10 years, honestly, is the B-boy, B-girl scene, like the breaking community, especially now because I'm like more based Surrey area, you know?
Okay.
And like the breaking world in Surrey is so strong.
Yeah?
And so dope and so positive. And like, so I love going out to all the battles and hanging out at all that stuff. And when I'm around that, I'm like, man, hip hop is doing amazing. And, you know, I'm seeing dope graffiti and
Yeah.
I'm seeing things like table tutors and, you know, different DJs that I'm down with and they're all doing their thing. And so in that respect, for me, like, I guess my industry, to put it in quotes, of hip hop is like kind of thriving.
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah, I can't speak in the broader context.
Yeah.
You would know. You tell me, how's the industry doing?
I don't sound like an old man and shit. But no, again, I think Vancouver has something special because, like you said, whether it's breakdancers and oh my goodness, sometimes some of the breakdancing competitions pop up on my feed and just the stuff that they doing, I'm like, my body ache just watching them do that stuff, you know.
No,
And
it gets me so hyped,
Yeah,
Kinski.
yeah.
And honestly, too, like you will understand this, but from an MC's perspective, I look at the breakers more than, well, I look at the graffiti artists because they literally have to like risk legalities to do
Yeah.
to do their element. So
Yeah.
I look at them inspirationally, like, man, they're living it to that extent.
Yeah.
But and then the breakers as well, they're living it. It's such a total immersion into a lifestyle as
Yeah.
opposed to just like a craft. You like it's one of those type of crafts where to not move forward is to fall back.
Yeah.
You have to train every day.
Yeah.
And as MCs, like I could write like a dope records worth of rhymes like I just did with K-Rec, and I could just rhyme off these rhymes now for like 3 years, 4
Yeah.
years. And a lot of MCs do that.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
you know, I hear them jump up on the mic and they kick that same rhyme that they've been kicking pretty much the whole time I've known them.
Yeah, yeah.
But they still get to hang and be a part of it, and like
Yeah.
that's pretty dope for them. But in the breaking world,
yeah.
it is not like that,
Yeah.
man. You have to like. So when I'm around those guys, just like you say, when you go out to those battles, you be around that scene, it levels you up, man. Like
Yeah.
I watch that and just go like, I got to get way more serious about what I do. Like these cats are so serious.
they dope. I can imagine me coming out there with my little old 1988, 80. They be like, man, look at this dude. But the culture is alive here. Again, whether it's icon hip hop, you know, they got a large community, and you know, for the rappers to come out, but there's dancers, graffiti artists. Shout out to my man Hardbody Dreams. He definitely be out there doing trying to get things popping. So the love for the culture here, that's why I would like to see it amplified more.
Me too, and I would like to see it. And I think the thing that, like, because you can name that all day, like all like me and you both are getting so hyped right now, and all these dope pockets. But that's the thing is, like, they're pockets. And I would say the scene here, if there was anything I ever looked at it and was like, this could be stronger if it wasn't so siloed. Like if more MCs did go out to B-boy battles, if more breakers showed up at MCs gigs and broke and went off, you know what I mean? Everything would be doper. People would be like, oh, I love going to hip hop shows because the B-girls show up and they start breaking and like blah, blah, blah. And like, like I feel like if, people who wrote graffiti were more interested in what the DJs were doing. Man, let me give you some art for your record cover. And all the way around, like if I feel like if the elements could come more together here, because individually they're all crazy strong. Yeah. So if they could like unify, because one thing that K-Rec and I experience all the time, but like the power and the like lightning bolt zap that an audience gets from just, let's say, an MC rocking the mic, it's like pretty strong. Mm-hmm. But then when you add like a real live DJ, really DJing too, not just pressing play stop, but like really, like K-Rec's going back to back. Yeah. He's dropping in breaks.
He's back there sweating and stuff.
Man, he's like going off like a full band, you know, like a DJ should be, right? That's our band, you know? Yeah. And so when you add that, it's like, whoa, it just went up, like doubled. Then now all of a sudden you bring out some B-boys, B-girls, they're breaking while you're doing that. Boom, now it just like doubled again. Like, and when you go actually show up to an event where you see hip hop as opposed to just an element, you go, oh, I get it now. Like this can hang with jazz, classical, the blues, any other iconic genre of art. Yes. Some people might look at just what an MC does and go, come on, man, you're not Miles Davis, or whatever, right? Yeah. But when you see hip hop, like you'll go, oh no, it can hang. Yeah. This is a powerful art form, So anyways, I would just say that. I'll get off my soapbox. No. I would just say that to answer like the state of the like industry for us, for where we live. I think that's the main thing to me that is the area for growth, you know, as if more of the elements could rock together, man, that would be, I just get so hyped on it. And we make so many good friends that way. And like, and when you meet like those other communities, like anyways, there could be more togetherness, man. We could all be getting together. It'd be so dope.
Another part of the culture that, that's going strong is, battle.
Yeah. That's very true.
Shout out to, Set the Bar Entertainment. My man, Red Shirt Mike. I actually, a couple of months ago, went out to one, and you talk about community. Yeah. Because they had it in a place in Surrey, which I don't think is known for having, hip-hop shows there, but because it was Set the Bar and it was battle rapping, the place was packed.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And it was a dope show and stuff. Yeah. So like you said, it is these...
And that excitement, like, when any kind of battle you go out to, whether it's breaking or MCing or DJing or whatever, when you can add that like sort of sport and drama element to the art and the music, like it's so hype, man. Like you be, man, I'm hoping for this guy. Even if you don't know them, but you watch like half the show and you start going, man, I like this guy's whole vibe, how he goes into the cypher. Yeah, and then you start to get so invested, so that it's such a powerful form that way. And also, I do think that hip hop here, in a sense too, it's like, it's a little soft in the way that there's not a lot of people don't call each other out, or really, you don't really have to worry about a battle here. Not really. I've had like, in my whole time here, I had maybe 3 people like come at me and be like, I want to battle you. Or I came at them and said, I want to battle you. Yeah. And it was like a battle. Like, it's like, I think you're whack. I want to battle you. Like that style, that's happened so very few times. But it would be interesting to see what it would do for the culture here. If you knew someone could come at you like that at any time, you'd have to be sharp, man. And so the battle element too, you're right. It could add a lot.
Well, the battle rap and the fact that they do a acapella, no beat.
Yeah.
And it's storytelling, is improv, is all, and just some of the stuff they say, you just like you said, it's like when you get that feeling and you hear people like, ooh.
Yeah, I want to see people have to turn around and walk away. Like I love those moments.
And it could be people that don't even rock with you, but if you said something that was so sharp, they'd be like, damn.
Yeah. He's actually, I got to actually check this guy out. And, I have to say, I didn't give that world its due appreciation. And the person who made me open my eyes up to it because I was so much about flow. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And I was so
yeah.
much about like the pen and technical writing and message writing and all the things that we do and you know, in that form of emceeing, right? And so that world to me, I was like, oh, you know, a lot of the elements that I mostly love are less in that form of it. But then I heard the person who I think is at the highest level of the form of it, Big Daddy Kane, talking about how much he loves that style of emceeing. And he's just like, that to me is where it's like all going on right now, you know?
Yeah.
And it's exactly like you said, the fact that you're going to have no beat to hide behind, no fast technical flows to wow the crowd. It's all comes down to like, did you have that clever punchline? Which we all know Kane is like punchline, master of punchlines.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
fact that he could appreciate that punchline aspect of it, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I kind of been sleeping on the battle scene.
Anybody that says so put a quarter in your ass because you played yourself. That's still one of the dopest bars. Like Kane still got dope bars and stuff. I was like, yeah, when Kane dropped, we were just like, same thing with Rakim, because you know before you had your Run DMC, your LL Cool J was like hype and because I used to rap like that back in the day, you know.
Yeah, telling
but
you to eat Cool J cookies, man.
yeah. But then when you heard Rakim and you like, why is he so cool and shit? He just like, yo, check out my microphone and that is, you know what I mean? It's like, and then KRS-One kind of on and off beat and talking
and bringing in the
stuff.
reggae styles and like just real like battle with party rocking and do you feel like that's something people bring up a lot, but I hear a lot of people feel that at that time in hip hop, especially I would say like the late 80s into the early 90s, the variety that could all get shine at that time, where you could have a Kid and Play on tour with the NWA.
It was balanced.
Or there was like so much going on.
I feel like it was more balanced. You had the Kid and Play, you had the NWA, you had the KRS-Ones, you had the Salt and Peppers, you had Salt and Pepper, and but something you said it made me think about back in the day with the reggae and stuff. So again, story time. In high school, I was in a rap contest, and Wise Intelligent was in it.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I was rapping over an instrumental of Steady B.
Yes, I'm also, by the way, let the hustlers play. That's my shit, man. I love that record so much.
So I was rapping over instrumental Steady B. So when Wise Intelligent get up there, first of all, Tony D sets up a beat machine. Rest in peace, Tony D. And as soon as he hit that bass, boom, I was like, what the? And so the beat started going, and I was like, everybody was like, okay. And Wise Intelligent got up there, and again, back then I was rapping like LL Cool J.
Yeah, right, yeah.
He had his own style. But then he started kicking it in reggae.
Yeah.
And I think he sung a Luther Vandross song with reggae style.
No way.
In the middle of his rhyme. And I was like, okay, I'm coming in second place.
I think coming in second place to Wise Intelligent is still first place. You know,
I was like, okay.
Yeah, you'd almost something would be wrong if you got first. You know, you'd probably always feel wrong about that.
Nah, you know, it's bad. It was like that Vince Carter.
I can't believe you got to be in the same, session as Wise Intelligent.
Well,
man. I'm such
again,
a fan.
growing up for Trenton, my man DJ
so.
Busy J,
Yeah, right.
he worked with Poor Righteous Teachers. He did some stuff. Again, when you in Trenton is a small town.
Okay.
So cats knew each other, and again, when you perform, you liable to either be on the same bill with them or they in the audience looking at you.
Wow.
You know, so but definitely I think back then it was you had more of a variety and people loved it. You know what I mean?
People love it, and this is the thing. So we had a crew from here in Vancouver. This might be before your time. They were called the Purple Heart Social Club. Did you ever get to check that out?
No.
They were a group of girls, super dope girls that we were all good friends with. And they formed a group that sounded just like what would it be, K-Rec? Like a Destiny's Child type of a vibe? What would you say Purple Heart Social Club kind of sounds like?
Yeah, more like more hip hop, like on
what were some of those old groups? En Vogue. Yeah. But like 4 girls like singing and then going into like a real sassy little like rap verse and then back to some dope singing and like dancing, snapping their fingers. And the thing is, it was so bang on perfect for like that 90s like R&B girl group. That everybody like was just, I was like, I didn't think I'd ever get to see a group like this. Like this to me was so special to get to see them, because you grew up hearing that and you just think, I didn't think I'd ever just be able to be in a little spot around my way and see people do this. And like, can you imagine nowadays if we had a local group that like hit it in one of these ways we're talking about that's missing, like some real like a Kid and Play type duo, where they're like got dance routines, matching outfits, and like I would go to every show, man. I would just be like, dude, this is just what our scene needed. Like, there's so much. Not to say like anything's wrong with the scene per se. It's just saying that there's room for more, you know. And like I think people. You probably like me, like you're doing exactly what you grew up mainly loving. Like it's like this was the style I loved, and that's what I'm trying to rock and keep alive now. And I know like so many people, man, they grew up loving like some Kid and Play or some Digital Underground or something, man. Like, please, man, make that group, come rock that style for us. Like, I totally want to see that.
You know, I saw Kid and Play. I met them in Japan.
Oh, really?
Japan.
Wow.
Salt and Pepper, being stationed there, and they did shows. Met them. Naughty by Nature. Then I met Naughty by Nature in Seattle because we brought them out to Seattle to do a show. Shout out to Tretch, KG, and Vin Rock, cool dudes. Jeez. But yeah, definitely Salt and Pepper, Kid and Play. Their first song, Last Night.
Night, I love Last Night.
I still love that song.
Man. Yeah, that song's dope.
And again, dope storytelling.
Yeah, for sure.
You
that
know?
Storytelling alone is just kind of missing.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, me and K-Rec tried to bring back some dope storytelling jams over the years. I think our dopest storytelling session we've had was the Grammatical Gumshoe, man. That was it was a 3-part series. Okay. 3-part series of like some detective stories. Oh. And yeah, they were pretty fly. But we've done like whole albums that were just stories and stuff. So yeah, dope, I love storytelling rap, man. I love it. Yeah, we did a record that was like a story that was for kids. It was called The Knight in Rhyming Armor.
but that's dope. Like you said, it's about expanding.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And going back to your story, because you did a perfect segue. You said you got into it back in 87, 88, and you start spitting rhymes. You say early 90s.
Yeah, so because when I first like discovered it, it was just something that you saw on MTV. You know what I mean? So you would see like Run DMC or something and be like, I don't even know what this is, you know? But I was like, I totally like this. Yeah. And then, you kind of follow it. And I was very fortunate because when I was a kid, my friend Corey, his mom took us to like Beat Street, the breakdance movie, and Break In, the breakdance movie. Yeah. So we saw those like in the theaters, which was kind of rare here. And then I always say this, and I'm always wait for someone to correct me, like if I am getting this wrong. But I went to see the Fat Boys in 1988 here. They played at the PNE. Okay. And my feeling is that was the first time like a known major hip hop group came here. And I was super hyped and lucky to be at that. Then the next year BDP came and I saw them in 1989. So by then I was like into it, you know what I mean? And I would say too, like, it's incredible the power of BDP, but I do remember KRS-One at that show, like promoting that, like, this is for you too. Like this hip hop is for you too. You know what I mean? And kind of like expressing this is like, you know, like be down with hip hop, like get into this, you know? And so then, as we were like going in the 90s, then it was getting obviously like much more popular, but still like underground kind of vibe here. And all my friends were just so into it. So I think like the gateway for us was more like, we loved the music and we had a few friends who started to DJ and collect vinyl. And some friends were doing graffiti. My brother was a really great graffiti artist and some of our other friends were really great graffiti artists. And also a lot of our friends were into the low riding. So they were really into like the low rider cars and like that kind of world. Yeah. So it was all these different elements. Yeah. But nobody was really brave to be like, I'm going to be a MC. Like that was such a wild proposition here at that time. Like in the early 90s to be like, I'm a MC or I'm a rapper, you would have even said at that time. Yeah. And like that was pretty unheard of. But we did have like people who were trying to like be hip hop here at that time, like people like Jay Swing and stuff who were like, you know, getting like,
shout out Jay Swing,
becoming like DJs who were like, you know, take for real. But especially in the town that me and K-Rec grew up in, Langley, like you couldn't really like be that so easy. But we would cypher, like we would just have house parties. And because the DJs were going and they had the B-sides with the instrumentals and we all knew all the words to every song. So, you know, first you're rapping along with your records and then you start trying to kick one and freestyle and stuff. So we just all like had so much fun freestyling at parties and all of that. And I think there, you know, there's a point. We go around and talk to kids and stuff a lot now, and we talk about like how you can get a passion or how you can get resilience through immersing yourself in like a passion or something that's you know, good resiliency factor for you. And one of the things that we always talk about is like, if you notice something where you're a little bit good at it, like, you know, then lean into that, because like that's a resiliency factor for you. It's good for your self-esteem. It's good for like just, you know, something that's going to keep you going on it. And I would say, like, for me as a kid, I did notice, like, with even if it was just rapping along, I was like, I can kind of do this a little better than my friends, you know, like I can kind of sound a bit more like Emcee or like kind of hit that flow, or I memorize all the lyrics real easy or whatever. So anyway, yeah, we just rapped along, and the earliest cassette tape I have of me like kicking my own rhymes on a cassette to my friend DJ, and I think is from '94. And it's like just freestyling at my homie's house. Okay. But so I can at least say, like, for sure I was kicking my own rhymes by '94. And then our homie, this really good friend of mine named Abyss, he was the first out of all of our kind of world to say that, to be like, I'm a MC, and like to start to be like, I got to get beats. And I was trying to give him beats because I could play some drums. So I was like recording my drum beats and be like, here, man, I recorded you this drum beat and stuff. And then he started actually getting up on stages and like rocking crowds. And for me at that time, I was always in bands and stuff, but it was just getting so difficult to be in a band, you know, where you're just like, man, everybody can't show up to practice. Everybody doesn't agree on if we should play this show or not. This person likes the song that way. I like it this way. And I'm just looking at Abyss and kind of going, man, I already know I'm pretty good at rapping. Like, why don't I just do what he's doing? Because he can just do whatever the fuck he wants whenever he wants to do it, you know? So, yeah. And then that's where it begins. And then I already told you the story of meeting my man K-Rec. And that's like the big turning point, though, honestly, for me. Like, I can tell you that what I do would have like tapped out and never really... Like, really, it was connecting it to K-Rec that made it, like, something palatable that people might actually want to listen to or, like, make records or any of that. Because I think I do think I have some rhymes, you know, but, yeah, I needed that other half, man, for sure. Like
So who was some of the people that inspired you, or, you know, to spit? Who was some of your...
I like it when I was young. I was a real major like Kumo D head because of the
Wild,
architecture.
Wild West.
You know, the swagger and like the voice and all that. But like I could see his architecture of his rhymes was a little bit advanced. You know, So I was like, I like how much like when you listen to something like I Go to Work or something, it's so technical and there's all these metaphors and like. So I was like a big Kumo D guy. Something just fell down in the room if everybody heard that. And. Yeah, and then like all those classic cats, just like you named, like KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane and Public Enemy for sure, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's my shit. Like, I mean, I'm just like a golden era guy for sure, and that's would be what like inspired me to rock. But I think too because I always grew up a skateboarder, so being a skateboarder, like I started skateboarding when I was 12, and that introduced us to a lot of really dope hip hop. Like ahead of time, because people would go to California and back a lot. So we would hear things like hieroglyphics and stuff, and it would be in the skateboard videos. So and skateboard videos were like super niche culture, underground thing at that time too. So the new like skateboard video would come out, and you'd hear like hieroglyphics in it or something. You'd be like, "What's this?" And like, so we were a bit more up on stuff than like other people who lived here. I would say as skateboarders. But the other thing about skateboarding is I think it like more informed my brain to be like, I don't give a fuck about what anybody thinks. Or like I'm just do my own thing. Like I don't mind getting hurt doing this. Like that's the mindset of a skateboarder, you know. And like here, particularly in the like 80s, 90s, you would get like super hardcore, like bullied or even like attacked in a fight just because you're a skateboarder. Like I got in tons of fights as a kid just for being a skateboarder. So I think that too, like that emboldened you, you know, to be like, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. Like I'm into this, and it sort of taught you like if you're into something. It doesn't matter if you break your leg. It doesn't matter if you get bullied at school. Like, this is your shit, and you just do it, you know? So I think we kind of all came out of that mindset of, like, hip-hop. Like, we love it, and I don't care if you think I'm a nerd or even if, like, you know, whatever. We just felt like I'm doing it because we love this shit, you know? So, I think that mindset.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, you said Kumo D. I think loquacious. I think he put that in the rhyme. when he was dissing LL, I think he did a whole bunch of rhymes bunch of words that started with L.
That one. Yeah. What is that song called? Death Blow.
Death Blow.
Yeah, with all the L. You're
Yeah.
low liar. Yeah, all that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But one of my favorites of Kumo D is since you said Beat Street.
Yeah.
The Christmas rap.
Christmas rap, man, amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that.
I guess that was the first time I saw Kumo D actually.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know.
No,
Like,
yeah,
movie theater,
and Dougie Fresh,
Yeah.
the beatbox.
And Kumo D's not wearing the glasses in that, which is crazy.
Yeah. Yo, if anybody there listening, you get a chance, look up the Christmas rap from Beat Street with Kumo D and them. Like, oh my goodness, just again, some of the storytelling in that,
Yeah.
and the what was it, Treacherous 3? That's what he was a part of,
Yeah.
the Treacherous 3.
Yeah.
So speaking of the music and stuff, can you explain some of your creative process?
Yeah.
Especially like with this last.
I know. K-Rec, you can chime in too, man, on our creative process if you want, man. It's a me and you process. But you know what? I'm like often writing rhymes. I'm that kind of MC where like I'm just like rhyming.
Mm-hmm.
I like writing. I like freestyling. So I'm always like creating, but it's not very focused, you know. And like a lot of times I maybe won't even write it down, but like I'm always rhyming. And so if somebody just gave me a beat, I probably have a rhyme that, you know, I could like apply to it.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, like the process for what we're doing mostly these days is more like I said, K-Rick and I are kind of on a yearly schedule right now. So it kind of gets towards spring. And I know I'm going to get that K-Rec call like, hey, man, we should start making a new record, which always blesses me, man. Like,
Yeah.
I got to say, like, I mean, just to be humble, like, I'm not saying this. K-Rec is the nicest and most gracious, and he's one of my very best friends. So I shouldn't even
concur.
say this, that, like, it shocks me. I shouldn't say that because that feels like a diss to K-Rec. But the truth is, I'm trying to compliment him because he's so dope, and he's doing so many dope things these days. So honestly, when I get that call where he's like, yo, man, let's start cooking up our new record, I'm just like, oh, man. It makes me almost cry to talk about it, man.
Yeah.
I get like emotional. You
It's
know?
like
So,
Christmas.
yeah, it is. And just that he still wants to like mess with me, you know, like
Yeah.
after all these years. And it means the world to me. And so, we get cooking on a new thing. And to be honest, too, like in the last like 4 records, especially, they've been very reflective of what's going on in our world.
Okay.
You know, so we were sort of in like a little bit of a tough time getting something going because of COVID. And then I sent K-Rec a acapella, probably just bored during COVID, you know, and then he was like, yo, here's a beat, do that again to this beat and send it to me again. And I did again, sent it back to him. And then he like made it into a song. We were like, man, that's actually a dope song. Like, let's make a record during COVID. And that was the first time, well, we had a record before that called Existential Lazarus. And that record actually too was kind of what was going on at the time, only because I was like feeling like not low about music, but just kind of like, man, what are we doing? Does anybody care about this? And then giving my head that shake to go like, it doesn't matter, man. Like, you love this. Like, going back just to like what I was saying when we first started.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You just
Yeah.
love this and you're just going to do this. And that's what that record was about. Then when COVID was on, we made a record called Co-Vision. And that was just a record to like kind of reflect COVID, you know, like we're in this crazy time. Like, let's make a record right now and just talk
Yeah.
about how we're feeling and what's going on and whatever. And so then I feel like anyways, in recent records, I don't know if you say the same, K-Rec, but we've been more on a tip of like our records reflecting like a moment we're in. And so,
Yeah.
you know, the next cycle through was K-Rec finding out he had cancer. And when he dropped that on me, that was like, obviously my whole world flipped upside down. Like, I almost start to cry just to think about getting that text.
Yeah.
But also, when he, during really early in that process, was like, let's make a record, I was like, whoa, like, and that was the most intentional record like ever, where I was like, this record's got to be like super special and address this moment. Like, he might not even be here next year to even bump this record, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
making a record with that as your reality was like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And that was a very powerful experience for me to just make a record at a time like that. And then the one after that was A Day in the Best Life of K-Rec and ST Elements. And that was because now he was in the clear.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he had gotten his like cancer-free diagnosis and he's like, let's make a record. So then this one was about like, fuck, man, let's just get it every day.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I would say
yeah.
that was the spirit of that record was let's get it every day,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And now we just put out our newest record, which you're on, man, and thank you, man.
Thank
I mean,
you.
I will get into this, but like your verse is the biggest blessing. But that record, you know, these are crazy times right now, and the world is just like that record was just coming out of this moment that we're all in together.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
don't think the other ones before that have been much more personal, with the exception maybe of the COVID one. But this one is, I say, like a step a bit more away from the personal, what's going on, to more like, well, we're all going through this
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
And a little bit of my own feelings too, because it's been a tough year for me personally too. But yeah, this record was more about like, keep your light on, like keep your lighthouse lit, keep shining. This time is when you need it the most, whether it's in a personal way, like I've needed it this year big time, myself.
Yeah.
Just need to keep my light lit.
Yeah, yeah.
Just through a lot of feelings and a lot of
Yeah.
relationships and different things, but also just in the world, you know? So
Yeah.
this record, I would say, that's why it's called Sunny Day Shades, Rainy Day Umbrellas. Just like the world is like rough, but it's just like, man, like, here's an umbrella for you, or like,
Yeah.
let me pass you my shades, man. Or like, let's do that for each other. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's, anyways, there's a long answer to what our process is, but it's just to say, we kind of get into the season. It's time to make a new record. And then for me, it's like, oh, okay, what's going on right now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what do I want this record to kind of capture? And what I've found is like, when we're doing it in that way, there is more of a connection to our audience of like, oh man, like a lot of people are saying about this new record, like, man, this was the record I needed to hear right
Yeah,
now. Like,
yeah.
I feel like this record is what I need to listen to today. And so I find that's happening more when I ask myself that question, like, what do I need right now? Probably a lot of other people in your life need that too, man.
Yeah.
You're not in a bubble, you know? So I'm finding that process is dope. It's bringing out a lot of good shit.
No, that information you just shared definitely gives us insight, gives me insight into you as an artist, because that's one thing I noticed listening to your music. We talk about being authentic on here, you know, and I feel like your music is authentic. You being yourself.
Wow, that means a lot to me, man.
And
really.
and well,
That's
when,
like all I want to be, man. So thank you.
well,
That
when
means a lot.
K-Rec sent me the track and was like, "Yo, you want to get on this track?" and I listened to your lyrics, I was like, "Psst, yeah, he's talking the shit I'm talking." You know what I mean? So,
Let's go.
you know, so, and I think I told K-Rec, I was like, I probably had my rhyme done in like 30 minutes.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And you probably feel like this too. Sometime if you get a beat and the lyrics just start coming.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this record was a lot like that. I mean, all these beats were super fire, and yeah, the authenticity thing, man. Like, I mean, I'm sure you're the same, but like, for me, to be honest, too, like my life, I had an epiphany moment in my life where basically there was a lot of things I was really passionate about, right? Like, I'm a passionate son, I'm a passionate brother, I'm a passionate dad, I'm a passionate, at the time, addictions counselor for, you know, all these folks out here struggling. I'm a passionate Emcee, all these different things. But I look at all these different things that I want so badly to bring my best, most loving self to. Even my friendships, like Kara can tell you, I'm like a passionate friend, like probably annoyingly so. Like, I think sometimes I'm like probably overwhelming, like, yo, just chill out a little bit, you know. But like, I'm passionate about all my relationships and love and everything. But I looked at all those different things that I care about in my life, and had one moment in my life where I just realized, like, man, they're all the same thing. Like, whatever the you know, the situation is in front of you, you're trying to do the same thing. You know, whether you're rocking the mic, you're trying to do the same thing as when you're meeting with that homeless dude, trying to like help him with his traumatic life. You know, like whatever, or you're talking to your kids, or you're hanging out with K-Rec. Like, you're always trying to do the same thing. And it was kind of when I realized that, then I was like, now I know what to do. Like, now I know, I kind of a moment to know, like, oh, once you realize why you're doing it, you know, and you could find the essence of the thing,
Purpose.
yeah, then you're like, now I know, you know, there's like, it's a no-brainer now, like how to write a rhyme or how to rock the mic, because I know even the party rocking ones, the fun ones that are more just some b-boy shit,
Yeah.
I know what the purpose of them is,
Yeah,
you know, it's like unite the room, get everybody yelling ho, like just get everybody sincerely having a good time because I care about them, you know. And like, once you realize like, oh, there's a reason for everything I'm trying to do, then you can do that thing with that purpose, like, you know what I mean, coming from that place. And then it just like intensifies, like all of a sudden you're like, man, now it's like clicking. And I feel it has been clicking. All those things have been clicking, and I think that's because I figured out what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a long answer to our process.
Oh, nah. Well, again, you just sharing some insight, you know, and you saying you're a mental health counselor. So I would think that also plays a part in your creative process because you're dealing with some heavy stuff out meeting people, talking to people, helping people. So when you get a beat, especially if it's a beat that puts you in that mode, you probably have this recall where, man, people are going through it.
For sure. If you look at the new record, like the jam on it called Good Friends, that jam is just mental health work. You know what I mean? Like if exactly like you say, like I'm doing the exact same thing. It's just a different vehicle to try to do it. So in that jam, when I'm saying there's somebody in the place to be who almost didn't make it here today. So I'm here to say, I'm so glad that you did what you had to do to overcome the sadder you. So we could flatter you and high five, maybe even hug it out. Like that's just me being a mental health worker, or a counselor or whatever, or a loving dad or a good friend, like it's just to say, that's a perfect example of like what I'm trying to say. Like, but the fun ones are that too. They're not all like super.
Yeah. Well, again, like we talk about balance.
Yeah, for sure.
Because back in the day, when you got a project, you had your club joint. Yep. You had your talking to the ladies joint. Yep. Then you had your I'm dope. But then you had some introspective records.
Well, and I'll tell you too, and this is like kind of a gem for other like potential MCs or MCs out there who, I'll give you one of my trade secrets, but I always say this. There was an interview once with Stan Lee of Marvel Comic Books, and he was talking about how he wanted to make like an anti-drug comic, like to help kids not get on drugs. But he knew, because Stan Lee is such a genius, that he couldn't just make a comic book where like the bad guy was like, I don't know, like a joint who got bit by a dinosaur or something, like whatever. So he was like, I want to have that message, but I'll just write a really good Spider-Man comic with everything everybody loves, pow bang, Spidey swinging, zip, cracking jokes, beating the hobgoblin, whatever. And then I'll just have like a panel in there where he swings up on some kid and was like, hey man, don't do that. Take the joint, throw it away. Spider-Man doesn't do drugs, man, and then swing away. And that's it. And then back to Spidey, And that had such a huge impact on me as a writer because I realized, like you were talking about before, like I'm not wise intelligent. You know what I mean? I'm not Mr. Liff. I'm not Chuck D. Like I can't carry that kind of a like need for that much intelligence and insight and like, I can't do it. So I took like that Stan Lee thing. I'm like, that's how I can do it, man. I can put like some important things that I want to say. Like I have this thing in my heart, man. I want to say it to people so bad, but I can put that in this context of like a bunch of fun, dope lyricism, fun little word plays, and then I'm going to say that thing. And the truth is that thing was all I was. Really I just wanted to say that, like one little line about like, man, don't hit women or like be nice to your mom or whatever. And then all this B-boy shit around it was just to get you to like it and be like, oh, I even give a fuck what this guy would even say, right? Because if I'm whack, why do you care about what I think anyway? Yeah. So first you got to be like dope to be like, hey man, okay, you're feeling me? I'm dope. Okay, by the way, I'm not down for all this war around the world. What? And then you're like, oh, I care about that. Maybe I'm not down for war too. Yeah. Because this guy's kind of dope. Yeah. I don't know if it works, but that's my method.
Well, it reminds me of Steven Tyler. I remember in the interview he said,
that's amazing. That's amazing that's what it reminds you of. But keep going.
Because he talked about putting medicine in the music.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when he said that, I heard that a long time ago. That's what I try to do. Just like you said. Yeah. Like. Yeah, I might start off and I'm trying to kick something dope. Yeah. But I want you to catch the theme of what I'm saying here. Yeah. So like you said, you got to give them the candy. Yeah. To be like, oh, this is nice. I like this.
You're strong though, man, because I do have to say, like, and I've only really rocked New Jerusalem from like start to finish in a very intense listening way, but you are more on the level of like the cats I just named, Wise, Intelligent, Mr. Liff, et cetera, in the way that, that thing is like, it stays on point, man. Like, but that being said, you stay on point and are dopely lyrical and super dope flow.
Oh, man, thank you.
So it's like you can stay actually on information or important messaging, and you don't even need to sugarcoat it up with some like, forget Oreos, eat Cool J cookies, man. You don't, you could just stay on that because, you're that dope, man, for sure.
Thank you, man. So, any shows coming up?
Yeah, with you. So yeah, I'm like locked in a mode right now where if I want like a really, really dope show, I feel like I just got to put it on.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have been asked, actually we have a show coming up in East Vancouver. Man, I wish I had the information here, but anyways, it's going to be on the September 12th, I want to say.
Okay.
It's here in East Vancouver. And anyways, people who are down with me, just please come and watch for it. And we also have the option of a show on the Sunshine Coast on September 5th, which would be really dope. And I hope we can pull that off. But there's some reasons why that one's a bit like touch and go.
Yeah.
But the one show that is like locked for sure, definitely coming up, is our record release party, which is at Islands Cafe in White Rock. Which, like, yeah, man, there's not a lot of dope, you know, shows out our way, and like that's always been a thing. Like I said, when we started doing our thing in the '90s, in the early '90s, my crew, Influence Crew, shout out Abyss, Sauce, Yumi, Him, Cashlow, and K-Rec, and anyways, our crew, we started putting on shows, like dope shows, and what I think is really important is when people recognize you don't always have to go to it. Like sometimes you should build it where you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if the only dope shows are just all out here in Vancouver, what about that poor kid who's stuck out in the suburbs for the night?
Yeah,
and like
South Surrey.
you know, hip hop thrives in the suburbs, man.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah,
it really
yeah.
does. Like, in the b-boy scene is like definitely a testament to that. But so for me, I believe like we could have put this show on down here easy. Like me and K-Rec are down with a lot of venues down here and people. We could have definitely put the show on down here. But for me, like, I love when I put a show on and it's not in the city and it's more like, hey, man, here's an all ages show. So some like 14-year-old kid who needs to check out some hip hop, who lives in Surrey, can come out and get down, you know? So that's part of the reason. It's also my neighborhood and it's my 50th birthday party. So, you know, that show also is just because all my people got to be there. So that's also why it's embedded in the neighborhood, because everybody's got to be there, you know?
Big 5-0.
I got to get my hugs, man. In fact, before we even like go over and start rocking at the venue, I'm going to be across the street at the elementary school playground playing California kickball with my people, man. So if you came out to this show that me and K-Ski are rocking, which is at Islands Cafe on August 28th. It's a Thursday. I purposely made it Thursday. Number one, so a Biden could be there. Number two, because it's not even going to compete with your Friday and your Saturday, man. So it's just a Thursday, man.
Thursday's the new Friday.
Come on out, man. So, but when you come, like I was saying, come like an hour early. You could come across the street and kick around some California kickball, man. Let's go. It's like kids friendly.
Yeah.
So, and the lineup is so dope, man. So, K-Ski, you're going to rock with us, man. Thank you so much. A Biden, the whole Influence
Shout
crew,
out to Biden.
and me and K-Rec. And so my hope, and I'll ask you this now on air, so you have to say yes. But my hope, like, so we wanted to rock and have everybody who was a guest on the record there and rock with us at the show so we could rock the record. Shout out, by the way, to the Boar Cause. He's our dear homie who's on the song with you and me.
Yep.
But he lives in Ontario, so he can't be there. But I do like love and appreciate him, man. And I wish you could be there, bro. But yeah, the idea is to have everybody who's on the record rock that can, but that everybody do one or two of their own jams as the opening, you know? So everybody who's there is going to rock some of their own shit as we get to the record. And then the night will be, you know, come to a close with me and K-Rec rocking this record. So it's going to be a dope show.
Yeah. I got a new song dropping tomorrow, so I'll be rocking that.
So you're going to bless us.
Yeah.
So you heard
definitely.
it here first, man. Come, it's your first chance to hear K-Ski's new song live, man. You have to come for that, man. Come on.
Yes, sir. So, can I bring K-Rec here for a little
man,
bit?
Please, man. People, I'll tell you the number one like negative thing I experienced in my life is feeling like, man, people have had enough of me, man. Let me step away. I'm like so vocal and just like too earnest, like I said. So, hey, everybody, if you made it in this long, man, thank you for like hearing me. Thank you, K-Ski, for having me on this show, man. I think it's so dope, everything you're doing, man. And like I told you in the gas station, man, I'm your biggest fan, man, for real. So,
thank you.
yeah, and now let's bring in the real star of the show, because just like me and K-Ski were talking about, man, it's Eric B. and Rakim. It's Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. So now that you got the little sidekick out of the way, let's bring on the real man of the hour, DJ K-Rec.
See, we just the man sitting next to the man sitting next to the man up in this. DJ, no. You gotta put some respect on his name. Legendary. DJ K-Rec. How you doing, bro? I was talking to somebody because I think I was telling my wife Kelly. I was like, she's like, what else does K-Rec do? Side scratch. I was like, Besides DJ, I was like, he make beats, he engineers, like he does it all and stuff, man. So a man of many hats.
Yeah.
When did you start getting? Did you get into it all at once? DJing, beat making, engineering.
I started making beats. I think we talked about it before, but yeah, like back in the day, and I'm sure ST knows about it. We used to make tape loops where you would pause tapes, and so that was my thing, and I would make pause tapes, and then and this was at our high school LSS in Langley. Like this would be like 94 about that time, and I would just make beats, but they would just be like breaks or whatever, and I would just make loop beat tapes, and and then we just started rhyming over those, and I rhymed back then, but I was pretty bad. I was terrible.
We don't have no recordings. We don't have no recordings of you.
There's actually, I think on
You're on our first record for
sure. I have a verse on our first record, but
It's ill.
it's all right. It's all right. No, the thing about like rhyming is I don't like, and I'm a real believer in this, is like my heart isn't in it. You know what I mean? And I don't want to do it if my heart isn't in it. I don't want to do it just because, right? So I've done it a few times just, I did it on the first record. I don't even know why I did it, but I used to, but then I kind of didn't like it. I like doing, like I always want to make beats and I want to scratch. And so that's where I started. And then I actually went to school for audio engineering. Mm-hmm. And then that's when I got into doing sort of all that stuff. And I did a bunch of recording bands. I actually recorded Paul, who's here. I recorded his album years ago. I've done a bunch of that kind of stuff. So that's my job now, is I do audio engineering.
Yeah. So we was talking about beats, like when we get that Christmas present from K Rec. When I see an email and I see some files attached to it, I'm like, oh. So do you just get into a mode where you just make a bunch of beats, or is it like every day you try to make a beat? Like, how does it hit you?
Yeah, I mean, so like basically I go on, it's kind of like this mode, because right now I haven't been making many beats because I've been working on mixing stuff that I'm working on. But I'll do like for like maybe 3-4 months, I kind of go into the beat making mode where I'll make beats for like months. Mm-hmm. And then every day I'll make at least one, like regardless. I'll just sit down and make one.
Okay.
And then, like if I'm feeling, basically I treat it like kind of like playing video games. And so like at night, like Leslie, my partner, she'll sit down and play video games, like actual video games. Like she'll play the PS5 or whatever, and I'll go into my studio and I'll make a beat, but I'll treat it like, it's just something I'm doing for fun, and I'm doing like it's like, oh, I'm gonna try something or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I'll just build up a bunch of beats, and then I have in my mind, it's like, oh, like I think these are like ST style beats.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, K-Rec, about this. I don't actually know this myself. I want to ask this guy, but like, is much of it that when you hear some shit in a song, and then you're like, oh fuck, I gotta make a beat out of that?
Yeah, like for example, here I'll show you. Hold on, let me see if I. So what I do is like I'll just listen, and that's what's really dope about Spotify is one sec. Okay. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I'll find it, but basically I'll just like use the Spotify like algorithm, mm-hmm. and I'll start searching stuff, and then my algorithm just becomes like all this different stuff. Like I started listening to like Japanese like folk music that's like from the 70s, like, mm-hmm. but then I'll hear like real dope stuff, and then I just take pictures, like screenshots of it, and then when I go home I'll like try to like sample it and make a beat out of it. And so that's like a big huge thing, like especially on the record, like we have a song where we sample like Tom Green, because he used to like be in a rap group, but it's Check the OR is the name of the song. But like I was listening to it in my car, and I'm like, oh, that's such a dope line. I love that line. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh, I have to get home because I have to like before I forget. Mm-hmm. And so like, so I'll do all that kind of stuff. That's a huge part of how I do it.
And tell about Kentendo, man, because that's unbelievable.
Kentendo, what is that?
I stopped doing it just because, but for a while there, I was like forcing myself every day to make a beat, but use like old gear. So I was using like the SP303, which is like it's an older sampler from like I think it came out maybe early 2000s, late 90s. I don't know the exact date, but it's like hard to use. Like it's kind of, you know, like if you have the newer stuff, it's like so much easier. But so I was just forcing myself to do like stuff that I could do on like better gear with just a sampler, and then I'd give myself like a time limit. I'm like, I have to finish this in an hour, and then I would like ask Leslie to film me. I was like, can you film me? And then she would just film me, and then like a big thing is my dog Taro, my little chihuahua, like sits on my lap when I'm working, so I would just like film me with Taro on my lap. And then she would just film me, and then I would erase the beat after. So they only exist on like Instagram.
Oh.
And I was doing it every day for the longest time. Like,
That's a
it was
lot.
actually like how I was kind of dealing with when I was sick. I was just like, I wanted to like force myself to do
Keep
things
going,
to keep
yeah.
my head like to keep
Yeah,
like
yeah.
or else I'd,
Focused,
yeah, because I'd go I do have a like if I don't keep busy, like I kind of like start getting in my thoughts and all that stuff. So that's kind of why I also always have to be making music or always doing stuff. It kind of like, and I'm sure ST knows, it's like this endless battle to fight the demons in my head.
Yeah,
and music
yeah.
is a huge thing with that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So like if I have a project or I have like, you know, when I'm working with beats, blues and bars and stuff, it's like I always got this thing that kind of keeps like, you know, gives a reason to keep doing stuff. So,
Yeah.
you know, keep going. So,
Yeah. Well, we definitely thank you because you blessed a lot of us with beats and stuff. And
thanks, man.
some of the songs you gave me my number one single with Sadat X.
Oh yeah. No, and that's actually because I had that verse, and I had worked on like a version of that song, and I really didn't like what I had, and I like was like, oh, like I really wanted to like redo it, and then so I actually like hit him up, and I was like, are you cool with me like redoing this? And he was like fine with it, which was like rad that he like was like so like, you know, just got back to me right away. He's like, yeah, man, whatever. And so then we had just started working together.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh, like K-Ski would sound dope on this, because I needed like I just had the one verse.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I need to like flesh out this song. And so yeah, you were the first person I was thinking of. So I was like, oh, and I remember we had talked. I think we had talked about Brand Nubian, or I can't remember. But yeah, so I just was like, oh, and then I just reworked the song, and like the way it turned out now is super dope. Like I'm glad. Yeah, it all kind of like I don't know if I believe in like things are being meant to be or whatever.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's kind of like that. If you open yourself up to more stuff, things just happen.
Yeah.
And then and it was dope. He was like, he agreed to shoot some
footage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, it worked out real well.
Shout out Sadat X, legendary Sadat X from the legendary Brand Nubian. You got another song with some other big names.
Yeah, I got to say that, like, I did a song. Actually, we did a song too with Cool Kim from Emcee.
That's who I just saw him pop up on my feed the other day.
And that's honestly the dope thing about social media is that it's allowed. Like, I hate a lot of stuff about it, but you know, it's kind of like brought everyone to the same level. Like, I just will like send them a message and like it's super dope. And I actually Curious, we just
Curious,
like,
that's the other one. I'm curious.
Yeah, I just finished a full record with them. I don't know, we're waiting to see what's gonna happen with releasing it, but that's just like a friendship and a partnership I made just through messaging.
Yeah.
You know, and like he was like, oh, like probably like I was saying to you, it's funny, but in '94, when Constipated Monkey, his album came out, and Illmatic, I listened way more to Curious. I was like way more into that style and that vibe.
Yeah.
Like I love Nas, but you know, I just was like, I related more to that Curious album. And I liked the Beat Nuts did most of the production, and I just like, I always like my stuff to be a little quirky, you know what I mean? Like, so.
I always thought he was dope.
Yeah, no,
dope
he's super
MC.
dope. But yeah, it was just like, I leaned more to like the Prince Paul, De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest. Like,
what about you got down with Percy P, man?
oh yeah, that was another Instagram message,
Yeah.
So, and that was because I work a lot with this MC out of Atlanta named Four Eyes.
Yeah.
He's super, like, it's just
like he's tapped in with. I saw his video. He had like T.I. in there.
Yeah,
and,
he's real. was if you go to the first couple Ludacris albums, he's on like the freestyle. There's like a song, I can't remember the name, something I think freestyle. But he used to be, I guess, I don't know if like, forgive me if I'm wrong about this, but he was part of his crew or signed.
Okay.
So he's on those. So he's like super connected. But yeah, his reels he was making kept on showing up on my feed. He would just have reels where he'd be freestyling just over like beats or whatever. And yeah, just another reach out.
Yeah.
So, but so he's like really, his style is like super lyrical, and like I was just thinking like, oh, I have all these things in my head. But for everyone I reached out to, there's someone I reached out to that ghosted me or blocked me or so, you know. But that was actually one thing about like being sick and sort of all that stuff. I was like, you know, because before I would like be worried, like I'd be worried about stuff like, if I don't want to embarrass myself or whatever. And then it just kind of made it like, who cares? Right?
Yeah.
Like, and so I just started reaching out to people or putting more music out and all that kind of stuff. Cause you know, so, and it's just like, it just, you know, like, I don't know. It's like lottery. You got to be in it to win it.
Yeah.
Let me say one thing about this guest appearance thing. I just want to say, just so you know, K-Ski. So you hear all these names and all these connections Carrick's connected to. And as we started making our new record, I did come at him to say, just one person, man, do you think this person will want to get down on this track? Can you guess who that was?
Who?
It was the one and only K-Ski, baby. I was like, yo, because we talked about maybe doing jams with all kinds of like, you know, people that would be a dream come true for me. But I was like, man, do you think K-Ski would get on this jam? So just so you know, man.
No, that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
I said, we were plotting for that song because we were like going through the names of like who we wanted, but we were like, nah.
Yeah, when like I said, as soon as he sent me that email and I heard, I was like, okay. And then I think I hit you back like 30 minutes. I was like, yeah.
He was like, I'm done.
Rom is done.
And I was like, oh man, too fast. I gotta get my bearings.
I was like, yeah, I'm going in this. I can go in the studio whenever you need me to up in it. But it's crazy because I reached out to Saigon on social media. So the second song I released when I got back into the music out here, my man Imperative, shout out to Imperative, he had this dope beat.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, please tell me this beat is available. And once he gave me the beat, I did my vocals. I was like, yo, Saigon would, I think, be nice on this. Yeah. So I sent it to Saigon, and he was like, yo, I'm with it. Let's do it. Da. He was like, the music dope. You got some dope lyrics. I like what you're saying. And so it is crazy. Like you said, just try. Like Lotto, you got to be in it to win it.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, like I used to DJ a lot at the Commodore, and all of that kind of stuff was like I would just get like this kind of bee in my bonnet, and I would like, so I just email people. I know Paul, you hit up Paul's big like reaching out to people, but yeah, I remember I saw De La Soul was opening, and I saw it in the I don't know if they still have the Georgia Straight, but I saw it in the Georgia Straight, like an ad for it, and I was just like, oh, I gotta like open for that show. So I emailed the dude who was booking at the Commodore, and I like just sent this like big personal like, yo, this is like my favorite group, like blah blah blah, and he's responding, he's like, yeah man, sure, you're on. And then so I got to open for them.
That's
but I was
crazy.
Like, you know, like I remember like it was like throwing like a Hail Mary. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna send it out, and I was just, I remember that day like, whoa, like, you know, shit works. But I mean, there's been tons where I send it and then you don't hear anything, and then you feel like a dork, but you know, whatever. But that's what I mean. It like once in a while it works out. Like,
it went down like that for us too, for Black Alicious and for J-Root too. I know you weren't, couldn't be there for J-Root, but
yeah, we opened for Black Alicious and it was the same thing. We
okay.
Like, we asked. Yeah. And so and that's the thing is like, I mean, and it's funny too because not being in the music scene but doing like stuff like my day job stuff. Yeah, it's like if people reach out to me, like, you know, I'll consider it for sure, and like, you know, and it's like, you know, it just, I look at that with everything because like, just reach out, just try. And you know, like I'll say about like a dude like Curious is just like, he's just total just like down to earth dude, and it's like, oh, you like, you know, so I've made a connection that is like fruitful for me and like hopefully for him too, you know?
Well, and I think also too the fact that you got dope music.
Well, I mean, but yeah,
I don't think Curie's gonna get on if that.
No, it's true. But I mean, that's the thing though. Like like a lot of people have dope music.
Yeah,
Like, you know what
yeah,
I mean? So,
yeah.
and I think a lot of people, yeah, like there's, especially today with just like how easy it is. Like, so yeah, you got to kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's crazy. Y'all went to school together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't know each other that well back then.
Okay.
I knew Dave, him, who was, I guess, good friends, best
My
friends.
best friend.
Yeah, and so Dave had a locker next to mine, and I just remember talking to him because he had Ice-T Power, like the cassette, but when you folded it out, it was like his wife with the shotgun behind her back. And I just remember he had it folded out in his locker, and I remember thinking like, oh, he's got, more than what was happening. I was like, oh, he's got the Ice-T tape. And then I remember like trying to be cool. I had like a boombox in my locker, and I don't know if I told you, but my dad was really into baseball. And so he would always go to like the Mariners games, and
I think so. Yeah.
yeah, and he would take like like I have a sister and two brothers, so one of us would get to go with him or whatever, and I would always go to I think it was Tower Records. It was right by where the Kingdom was in Seattle.
Tower Records.
And
yeah.
so I would always go and just buy like hip hop that we couldn't find in Vancouver. Like there'd be stuff you couldn't get here for whatever reason. And so I loved the Source magazine, and so I'd always get like I got like Wu-Tang right when it came out and all that shit. And so I remember like putting it in my boombox in my locker and playing it and hoping that Dave would like recognize that I knew, like I had this cool shit, and I would like I remember like playing like Gangstar because I had like the Hard to Earn cassette.
Hard to Earn. Ooh, yeah.
And playing it, and I also got to give a shout to the Crispy Biscuit radio show, which was like. Bit like probably one of the only hip hop shows like in the 90s in Vancouver. So I used to stay up late and tape it, and then I would also play that out of the boombox in my locker. And yeah, it was funny though. Like I would be like trying to show off to like Dave, but other kids at the school would be like they would hate it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, for sure.
and I would try to DJ like we had like at lunchtime. I can't remember what it's called at LSS, but it was like where they had the snack place you could buy snacks.
Yeah.
And then it was like, and it had this thing. Kind of like you could go stand on top of it and everyone would sit around.
Yeah.
I like got my electronics teacher to let me DJ on lunch breaks. And the kids would like run and unplug the speakers because they didn't want to hear like rap or hip hop. And that was like kind of what, and now it's like so different. But back then it was like, you just reminded me with your story about like skaters getting beaten up. Because now skaters are like, it's cool. And like, they're
We're like the quarterback on the football team now.
Yeah.
We used to like, like, me and my friends and stuff, you'd be walking and we'd be like scared especially if you were downtown in Langley, like just because I would like dye my hair weird colors and shit, and you would get jumped. Like,
wow.
it was like a weird time.
That's crazy.
Actually, let me say too, I just got to piggyback on. I got to piggyback on Ice-T Power because I have the same story, Carrick. The power of that cassette, and it's so funny that on that cassette he's even got the skit where the guy's going, "How'd you get that tape, man? It ain't even out yet." And I did the same thing with that tape. I bought it. And then I went into the skate shop where I wanted all the older, like, cool skaters to like me. Yeah. And I showed up and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I just got this Ice-T tape." And they're like, "Yo, what?" And they took it and played it. And they were all like, and that was like my first day of getting like accepted, where they were like, "Okay, I guess you're kind of cool, man." And like, yeah, Ice-T Power, man. Yeah. Let's go.
No, I remember, but that was like, and that goes to show like sort of like how hip hop has been like a big thing with connecting me with like people all through my life, because that was like, and then Dave and I became friendly and talked, and I think Dave's like a few years older than me. And so it was like I sort of started connecting with like dudes who were older than me and like guys I looked up to in the high school and stuff. So and there was like you would meet random dudes because I was like I was making beats and recording then, so people would like come and like, "Oh man," like dudes who I thought were like untouchable or whatever, would be like, "Oh, like you got this going on." I'd be like, "Okay, cool."
And for those out there who don't know, the lady on the cover is Darlene.
Yeah, Darlene. Who he's not married to anymore.
Yeah. But I think every hip hop kid was like, "Oh my."
Yeah. I remember having to hide that tape from my parents too.
6 in the morning.
They found my
I was telling Paul, I don't think they sang it, but we was talking about the song back in the day, Daisy Dukes. That girl, them Daisy Dukes songs.
It was who was Daisy Dukes? I can't remember
can't remember.
Troubleneck Brothers or something.
Because it was always that bass. It was the South. It was
like
Miami
bass.
and it's funny because I was such a hip hop head, East Coast.
Yeah.
But when I was in the Navy, we go to the club, me and my boys, and we from all different areas. But I'm like, man, I want to hear that Mobb Deep. I want to hear that Wu-Tang. I want to hear that Nas and stuff. But when you played the Miami bass music, all the girls got on the floor. So you out there like hump that hoochie man. You out there doing
Well, and that's the thing. Like when because there was a lot of people that were into like lowrider cars. So Miami bass was big because everyone would have the system in their car. So like guys like DJ Magic Mike and stuff would that would be like, I love and actually I would say DJ Magic Mike was like a big inspiration for me making beats because it was like the first time I had heard instrumental hip hop, and it was meant for like your car, and because it had like low bass. And so it was just like rolling music, but it was like, oh, this is like actual instrumental hip hop that you can buy.
Yeah.
And there's like no rapping, and it's not the instrumental to a song that exists. It's just like this album was like mostly instrumental.
Yeah.
And like, instrumental and just cutting, right?
Yeah.
So there'd be songs where you'd just be scratching the whole song. So.
And that's another thing about you is that you just don't. It's not just boom bap with
Yeah.
you. You're able to make, and you're into all types of music.
Yeah. Like there was a time in the late 90s, early 2000s, I got really into like electronic music. And so I was making a ton of that, and I kind of dropped out of it for a while. But recently I just have been like part of like, like I said about the video game stuff is like I just start making, like I've been making a lot of like sample based house, like stuff that sounds like Daft Punk or like, so it's just fun. Like I'm kind of doing it like it's like a challenge and like, oh, what? And there's a lot of new like plugins and stuff that like they have a thing called stems now where it's gotten really good where you can basically take like just the vocals out, or you can take the bass lines out of like existing songs. So that's like opened up this whole thing where I'm like, oh, I can just take like this bass line out of this old disco song and it sounds like pretty good. Like it's just like, because before you'd have to do things like filtering or and now you can just like pull it out or pull like just a horn section out. So
that's crazy. Technology is crazy.
No, it's super crazy. That's how I've gotten into doing all this other stuff because I'm just like, oh, I want to see if I can make this.
So I want to say thank you for, your contributions to not only my solo stuff, but beats, blues, and bars.
Oh yeah, no, I love it. It's fun. Thank you. I appreciate you saying it. Thank you for, like having me.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Anything you want to say before I bring Mr. Sexy over there?
Where's Mr. Sexy?
Always talking to me.
I know. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate, first and foremost, I appreciate your guys' friendship, and I just love.
You trying to make us cry up in here, K-Ray? What's up?
You're crying, not me.
I appreciate it. I'm like happy to be here. I was like, I'm gonna have to leave pretty soon because I gotta go. I was saying I gotta buy some fish and chips and deliver it to Leslie.
Told you don't want that drop kick.
No, it's getting dinner time. It's like
Leslie like.
Yeah, she's like, I'm sure. No, but there's a really good fish and chips place by our house now. So
okay.
I'm excited.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Oh yeah, thank you, man.
And I'm gonna see you Tuesday when we rehearse.
Oh, and I was gonna say, I guess you'll probably shout out the Beats, Blues, and Bars, but we're playing a couple of gigs in August.
Yes, sir.
And,
when
those
Paul
will be
get up
dope.
here, we got some good shows coming up.
Yeah, sure.
You wanna?
Come on.
Or should I bring the guitar?
If you want to,
That's it's up to
Hey, I'm
you.
gonna say bye now. I'll see you soon.
Yeah,
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
You wanna?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh well, you don't have to. Oh yeah, thanks.
Thank you, bro, for
It's such an honor, man.
Yeah.
No, I'm a fan, and thanks. Hey, keep rocking with K-Ski, everybody. This
Thank
guy's
you.
the truth, man.
thank you, bro. Thank you.
Man,
When
I'll be at some Beats, Blues, and Bars soon.
when you confirm your 2 shows in September, let us know so we can promote it. Help promote
Yeah,
it.
thanks, man. Yeah. Life is a little crazy right now, so I don't know what I'm doing, but I will tell you. But really, just come to the show K-Ski's at, man. That's my birthday party anyway, so let's go, everybody. Thank
So
you, man.
give it up again for STL or ST Element and my man DJ Legendary. Put some respect on his name, Legendary DJ K-Rec.
Thanks, guys.
See you, boys.
All right.
All right, what we got here?
What's up, bro?
Yo.
I see you got that beats blues and bars.
Yeah. Wait, where am I going here?
Camera right there. You want to see that right there?
Let's see here.
Yeah.
Is that there?
Yeah.
Good. No.
It's all good. It's all good. I got the other hat, even though this is a one-off.
They are available for purchase. Anyone who wants them.
Yeah, bro. So this past couple of years with the music has been a journey.
It's been pretty sweet.
Before K-Rec got on board, I was on a drum machine, a rolling drum machine.
Oh man, those were good times.
You come up with the guitar riff.
Those were good times. I forgot about that.
Yeah, well, our first two projects is
right?
me on the rolling beat machine while you doing guitar riffs and bass. You know what I mean? And then K-Rec came in and helped us round off. And then shout out to my man Noah,
Yeah, like honestly,
the bass player.
we had it going good, but life changers, like they K-Rec and Noah just came out of, I don't want to say out of nowhere, but like it was a great move, like having them come on, just like
Shout out to Richard too, Richard
Yeah,
Brown
RB,
with the drums,
yeah,
RB on the
100%.
drums.
just made everything all that more special, right? It's just it's good to have solid people behind your product, right?
Yeah. So besides beats, blues, and bars, because I've been getting on you because people love your voice, man.
Yeah. this
So
is what they say.
I know you got Here and Now, your band Here and Now.
Yeah.
Y'all got a show coming up, right?
Yeah, the Here Now, we're going to be playing at the Princeton on August 9th, which is this Saturday. Yeah, if anyone wants to roll on through, August 9th, we'll be there.
Yeah.
Playing.
So what about solo? What about Maxie Tedfield Talbot?
Funny thing you should mention that, because I was thinking about it. I've got, how we've rocked trees, right?
Yeah.
And I messaged buddy Mark.
Shout out to Mark.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his last name is, but he's the guy that runs Trees, does a great job. Trees on Granville. Every Thursday they have all ages open mic, as well as Friday
Fridays.
they have showcases for just local artists around the Lower Mainland, and some people come over from the island. Does a really good job. But anyways, I gave a shout out to him a couple weeks ago, just putting the feelers out there to see if he had any spots open for September. On September 19th, I believe. Is it 19th? September 19th, I believe, is a spot where I'm going to be doing a solo or possibly a Beats, Blues, and Bars. I'm not decided yet. But the funny thing when you asked about the solo thing is ever since, the Here Now and Beats, Blues, and Bars have been, getting stronger and producing more, my solo stuff is kind of just slipped to the sidelines.
Taking a
little
back
bit.
seat.
Yeah, right. It's not like I'm not coming up with anything, but at the same time, now what's happening is anytime I come up with something, I'm like, oh, well, that sounds like Beats, Blues, and Bars. That could work for Beats, Blues, and Bars, or that could be a Here Now song. It's not. It used to be I'd come up with something, and then I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna turn that into a song. But now, it's more like I'll come up with something, and I'll be like, yeah, that's for Beats, Blues, and Bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for the Here Now.
Fair now, yeah.
So, at some point I'll get back into doing solo stuff, but I think with the solo thing, I was doing it for so many years, right? Doing my own thing for so many years, it's kind of nice to have projects that I can give a sound to, right?
Yeah.
So, and to be honest with you, I mean, the Here Now is a band that I made anyways.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like all the songs that I made, that I make with them are basically songs I would write as a solo part anyway. Right?
Yeah.
So, and then I just have shout out to Don Brent and
Shout
Marcus
out Don.
Marcus the Cruz.
And Marcus.
Yeah, right. They're good dudes.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, it's just I would say regardless of solo or if you're in a band, like for me, I never lose that creativity. I just kind of want to make things, right? So
Yeah.
So solo, it's kind of taking a backseat, but I'm sure I'll come up with a few things, and I'll discuss with K Frost if we want to do the show on the 19th. As
The
Beats,
19th
Bars or not, right?
of August?
September.
Yeah. Cause man, August I got like 6 shows lined up and
Oh,
stuff.
we got a couple coming up. Too.
Yeah.
You're a
So
busy dude.
yeah. So we have the 22nd
22nd
at Aperture.
Yep, Trees Wait, no, sorry.
Aperture.
Right, Aperture Coffee House
On Main.
Main Street. What was it 421 Main Street? Something like that. Get your tickets.
Yeah,
We
get your
have-
tickets.
We have a link on our socials, so follow that link. Pick up your tickets. Last show we had, we sold out. So
Yes, sir.
it's a good little intimate spot.
Yeah, I like it there.
It's cozy, which is nice, but then you're getting like a genuine product because it's nice and tight.
Yeah.
Just like very friendly in there. So,
Yeah, I like that vibe.
yeah.
And then we have the 31st CITR block party, which is at Green Auto.
Yeah, so Green Auto
I want to drive by that place after we leave here because I want to see where it's at.
sounds good. I
think it's East Van.
It's East Van. I think I want to say Salisbury or no, sorry, Pandora.
That's where. Yeah, that's where it's at.
So it's Pandora and Hastings, possibly not 100% sure. But I've looked Green Auto up, and
They do a lot of shows.
They do a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Haven't really heard too much about their outdoor events, but they have shows all the time.
Yeah, it seemed like they kind of put me in the mind of Guilt and Code, one of the places where they really push having local artists or just having shows and events. But
Yeah.
it seemed like a lot of local artists get on there.
Yeah, local artists, and I think one of the nice things about that spot, they don't really discriminate on who plays there.
Yeah.
Right? Some nights I've seen them have, heavy metal, rock. Sometimes have had bluegrass nights. Like it's just they're all over the place, right? Which is great
Yeah,
because
yeah.
why just go to one genre? Just open it up for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool that they're doing their thing, and it'll be an awesome show on the 31st. So
Yep. And then a little ways out, October 16th, my born day,
16th,
we have the show at Fox Cabaret.
Fox Cabaret.
So when the 16th, when is that? Is that a Thursday?
That's a Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday is the new Friday. So.
Yeah, it is. But if you're free on a Thursday, the Fox is a good little spot. They do a really good show.
It's 4 bands performing that night, and we one of them.
Yeah, so it's 4x4. The Here Now actually played there a few months back, and it's 4 bands. It's $4. You just go in, kind of do your thing. Each band gets about 45 minutes.
Yep.
It's just basically a showcase of local bands and kind of doing their thing. So it's solid for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So
You can't $4. You can't.
yeah,
beat that.
yeah. Especially now with the price of every.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
A guy at work was telling me he went down to Las Vegas. He said a bottle of water was $15 US. So what is that, like $20 Canadian?
I'd rather die of thirst.
For real. Yeah, I'm going to the bathroom with a glass and I'm
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I see you brought your guitar. Is
did.
there anything you want to do? We got like 15 minutes left.
Well, I mean, I was hoping we could do a Beach Blues and Bars thing, but I don't know which song you wanna.
What's a good one we can do? We do Story to Tell.
We always do Story to Tell.
What's one you was thinking?
Oh my god, I don't really know.
Temples of the Idols of the Temple. So the new project that we're working on that we're going to release later in the year is called Idols of the Temple, and the science behind that is that the revolution. Everybody talking about what's going on in the revolution, but see, they fail to understand the revolution starts with self. That means going within yourself and getting rid of those false idols that we have in the heart. False idols like arrogance, greed, hate. You know what I mean? Woo.
So, should we just play it, or how do you want?
Yeah. If you want to go ahead and start strumming while I talk.
I mean, should we try a little beat or no?
I don't know. I think we don't have a beat, so.
And I got one, but it's gonna be on my phone.
That won't work.
Let's just go.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me get right. Yeah. Yo, In the temple of idols, where people feel entitled. Arrogant state of being a threat to survival. Some suicidal, seeking to escape, overwhelmed with anxiety due to lack of faith in the dark place because they demoralized. Spreading propaganda and fear got us mortified, it's more than lies. Holding us captive, ignorance and hate manipulate. We reactive, offer emotions, rejecting any evidence, clouding our judgment, so we don't use better sense. Social engineering is appearing to be, but I'm beneath the betrayal, so you ain't hear from me. Life and living color, different shades of blue. Devil got leadership, so he played us too. It's deja vu, Adam and Eve in the garden. Devil got a pardon, cause the devil hit. Losing his soul, lost in the land of Oz, but ain't no yellow brick road, just a dead end. So when the truth start to set in, we left with shame, taking the devil as a best friend. Let's go. Yeah. Feel like I can hear K-Ray. I'm your idol, the highest title. I'm your idol, the highest title. You know, we can always do should we do It Was All a Dream?
Yeah. Sure. Are you gonna say the?
It was all a dream.
Yeah, you gotta say that part. Though.
Okay, I do that. I do. Yeah. Yo, it's time to get focused and tighten up the belt. Seeking motivation through the pain that was felt from cards that was dealt. Had to learn to make the most. Instead of taking wrong turns, I was taking notes, jotting down the lessons to go back and reference, correct my conduct before it's back to the essence. Time on this earth, small window of existence, a test for the soul. Gotta face resistance in order to grow in a spiritual development, to understand the devil trying to knock us out of element. Rooted in love and righteousness, that's the higher self. But some forsake this just to acquire wealth, lusting for power so they can feed the ego. Gambling with life, treating it like a casino. Trade the hereafter for the here and now. Rejected the truth so they can't even hear it now.
It was all a dream. It was all a dream.
It was all a dream. Yeah, it was all a dream.
It was all a dream.
It was all a dream. It was all a dream. Yeah, yo, see, I'm like Kunta in a strange land, drawing up my game plan, document the struggle, turn the movement to a name brand. Invest in self-advice that I go by, but only if it connects to the Most High, because anything else is deception. Only the divine has the answers to our questions. So while it's stressing, I'm finding peace of mind, exposed to deception used to keep us blind in a deep decline, sad state of affair. Leadership compromise, not making it fair. I'm taking it there for all the people hurting in pain. Putting trust in false idols out here thirsting for fame, manipulation, chasing after dollars for a few dollars. Let's go. It was all a dream. Yeah.
It was all a dream.
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 Yeah.
It was all a dream. It was all a dream.
It was all a dream, dream. Yeah.
Close enough.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. One more before we
one more.
wrap it up. How about I was thinking Wake Up Call.
Wake up call, okay?
Plus, I'm not used to sitting down and rapping it.
You remember though, wake up call sounds very much to like it was a dream, but
It's all good.
all
It's
right,
all good.
Let's do it. Okay.
Yeah, deep in these verses, my purpose demonstrated. The devil inundated with knowledge that's propagated, delivered in these bars, leaving scars upon the ignorant. While those with faith understand, so they benefit, seeing the light. That opposition in this composition, a movement in shared teen, ain't no competition. The biggest enemy lies within my own being. Suffice it later at home, I'm in the zone, friend. Mind and soul, frontation of the flesh, strengthen the will. So with skill, I pass the test. Cause true success only comes from self-discipline. Scripture point this out, but we not listening. So now we witnessing the call in the wilderness. Out of slumber we rise, trying to deal with this feeling of apathy, paralyzing the populace. Sleepwalking down the road to the apocalypse. Mobilize the righteous to stabilize the planet. Educate the masses, taking life for granted. Who's unaware there's a higher call in this dialogue. Main reason that we seeing the empires fall. Humbling before the true king, the normal routine. The sense of hope is what this news brings to the hearts of those devoted to the all-knowing. Grace and mercy from above got us all glowing. Illuminating while we radiating, very light in the dark while the devil is steady hating. Time to take it to the further stream, further the scheme, narrative incomplete. So we inserted the theme, converted the dream, made it tangible, manifested in an art of rhyme, so the truth is understandable. Yeah, and you don't stop. Rock, rock to the beat, you don't stop. Rock, rock to the beat, you don't quit. It be that beats, blues, and bars with the ultimate. Let's get it. Yes, sir. You had to make up for the first two ones. So again, we got Here and Now performing this Saturday, August 9th.
Yep. At the illustrious Princeton.
And then does Here and Now have any other shows this month?
This month, no. We've got, what do we got? Oh my gosh, kind of wish I had this written down. We have a spot both in October and November. I can't remember the October date. November, I believe it's the 15th. It should be a Saturday. It's either 15th or 16th. I should write that stuff down. Casey's got me off guard here. But yeah, we'll be around. We got our social medias as well, and we'll post everything up there. So take a look. We'll be around.
Yeah. Check out Here and Now on Instagram for updates, and then Beats, Blues, and Bars. Like we said, we got the 22nd at Aperture, 7 o'clock. Yep. But get your tickets now. The links, Real Beats, Blues, and Bars Instagram. The link is up there for tickets, and then we got the big show August 31st at the block party at Green Auto.
Yeah, hosted by CITR.
CITR, that's UBC. Yeah, UBC's radio station.
Who's the person who asked us?
I can't remember her name.
Leah.
Lisa. I can't remember her name.
We gotta give a shout.
We gotta give a shout because she reached out to us.
Yeah.
She saw us perform and reached out to us to be a part of the show. So, and then like we said, in October 16th on my born day, we have the show at Fox Cabaret.
I'm looking it up here. One sec.
But so yeah, this has been the journey. You know, we started Beats, Blues, and Bars in 2019. I think we started getting together, jamming.
Yeah.
And I remember when 2020 hit, we was like, yo, we about to drop this. We about to drop this music on them in 2020. We gonna be
nobody's ready.
Nobody ready for us, man. We gonna drop this music and we gonna do some shows, and then the whole world shut down on this.
Yeah, man.
I remember us trying to rehearse over
Skype. Not Skype. What is it? WhatsApp.
We were trying to rehearse over WhatsApp.
That's great times, man.
You know what I mean? But then as soon as they was like, you can move, man, we masked up. We go to the rehearsal spot. Even K-Rec came through a couple of times.
Now, it was a really good time. You know, it's almost like, I hate to say it, it's almost like a blessing in disguise in the sense that, you know, despite us not being able to get out there, we still, this was something we still wanted to do. We pushed through it. We stayed connected.
Yeah.
Which is great. I appreciate the friendship that we created from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
Adversity brings
blessing
people
in
together.
disguise.
Yeah. Adversity brings people to, sometimes bring people together. And what I wanted to do with the band, with the group, was to show progress. Like I said, we started out with just you strumming the guitar and me on a rolling drum machine. Boom, bat, boom, 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 bat, boom. And then next thing you know, like you said, if you build it, they will come. And K-Rag, RB, even shout out to Timmy Boom Bat. You know what I mean? He helped us record some stuff, and he did some performances.
Another thing too, yeah, that's true. Not for Tim, we wouldn't have met Noah, right?
Yeah.
So
through
shout
Tim,
out to that for sure.
yeah, through Timmy Boom Bat, we met the ill bass player, my man Noah, and he's in like how many bands? Noriyama.
He's honestly, what do we call him? Black History Month.
We call him Black History Month.
He's in so many projects. And
Yeah, we did a show. The story behind that is we did a show on Black History Month, and I think Noah probably was the bass player for like 5 or 6 bands that.
Yeah, he just was all in it.
So we just called him Black History Month.
Sorry, that person we need to say the shout out show. Aisha. Isa.
Okay. Shout out to Isa.
Hopefully I'm saying that
Forgive
right.
us if we messing up your name,
Yeah.
but thank you for considering us for this opportunity on the summer block party at Green Auto for Bside.Radio. We looking forward to really.
Hopefully see you all there.
Yeah. Hopefully we see y'all there. We even got our filmmaker coming through. Shout out my man Starving Marvel. Yeah. We got a photographer now and stuff. Look at us.
Yeah.
Won't he do it?
Shout out to Julian.
Yeah, shout out to Julian. Get some dope photos we're gonna start releasing. One of them is gonna be the artwork for this Idols of the Temple. But before we head out, anything you want to say? I know you better give a shout out to Andrea out this one.
Oh, I mean, yeah, shout out to my partner. She's been
Yo, boo.
I can't say that on this podcast. I'll get in trouble. I got names for her, but I'm not gonna embarrass the shit out of her. But honestly, she's been there, thick and thin, best days, good, bad days, like me complaining of my back and my hip and all that shit because I'm getting older and not taking care of myself. But she never once complains that I go and practice my music and plays with my band. She never gives me a hard time about anything that's related to music.
It's good to have that support.
Yeah, which I appreciate a lot. And she comes to almost every single one of my shows, and I appreciate all that you do for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like maybe I take that for granted, but you should know that I 100% appreciate everything that you do for me, and I love you a lot.
Shout out to my wife, because I know she put up with it. Yeah, me and my mom be joking and stuff. Yeah, I was joking with my wife. I was like, inshallah, we get to make it to paradise, to heaven together, and she'd be with me for eternity. And she was like, I was like, forever. We be together forever. She was like, forever? Forever? She's like, is that heaven? I said, up in heaven, I won't be annoying you and stuff. I'll be good. But yeah, shout out. It is definitely important to have good support, have people who not only believe in you but support you. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, we get in that zone, especially when we got a show coming up.
Yeah. I get, my thing is I don't want to say I get belligerent, but I get blind to a lot of things when I'm just focusing on getting ready for shows or getting ready to go to practice or like something that, the band and I are working on. And, I like the fact that she has her outlets. She
be on them drums.
Yeah, she has her own drum kit. She's got her own jam space. So I do like the fact that she kind of can go through that as well. But like I said, sometimes I can't get out of my own way. Like once I get focused on something, it's very hard for me to shift over and see what's going on the other side. And sometimes I do need that kick in the ass to be like, hey, what the hell? Like, I'm here too, right?
Yeah, like you said, sometimes we have those blind spots,
Yeah.
and we need somebody to be like, hey.
Yeah. And, whether it's a kick in the face or just a light tap, she'll let me know if I'm fucking around, and that's kind of what you need, right? Like, you need somebody that's going to be strong and make sure that once you start going off the path that she doesn't like, she pulls you back into it and makes you realize, okay, there's more to it than just what I want.
Yeah.
Right? So
My wife punched me in the stomach, so that's what happened when your wife is in the kickboxing.
No, she's never punched me. I'll give her that. But there's times where I'm like, oh crap, I better be on my best behavior.
Yeah.
So I mean.
Yeah, when I go in the kitchen, I got to put my hands up and stuff because I don't know. Overhand right might come from.
Damn.
It's brutal. It's rough up in the crib.
Anyways, I think you should shut her down before she hears this, bro.
Yo, so this is Beats. I'm about to say Beats, Blues, and Bars. This is Beats, Blues, and Bars. Shout out to my man K-Rec who was just here.
So we got hats as well.
Yep.
Hats, yeah.
Yep, T-shirts.
Yep.
So, when you come to the show, buy some merch, But shout out to DJ K-Rec, legendary DJ K-Rec who came through, and the homie STL or ST Elements who has a show the 28th, I think he said, a Thursday at out in White Rock for his 50th birthday and his record release party.
You're playing that on the show?
Yep. I'm performing a song with him, and then I'm gonna do a solo joint, But thank you, bro, for coming through.
No problem. Thanks
I'm gonna see you in a couple of days and stuff, or we're gonna be texting, trying to get things right for the show. So Vancouver, that is it, and shout out to my man Jack who helped us get everything going.
Thank you, Jack.
And shout out to my man Kava, he couldn't be here. Like I said, he's feeling under the weather, and the homie Kostia, he's just busy. He's a busy Ukrainian who has a job, and then he has the studio and stuff. So Cat's out here making moves, and I know you busy. So, but even though you have the summer off, you hanging out.
I like to keep busy no matter what.
Yeah.
Sitting on the couch ain't, it's not the greatest. It's not the greatest, but it's not bad,
So September we got a dope show. Be on the lookout. Uh-oh. How you doing, man? Some big strong dog just walked up in here.
About to get eaten.
I'm about to jump up on the table out this bitch. But so once again, this is Beyond the Lyrics. It's your man K Ski. Thank y'all for rocking with us. And if you don't catch it live, it'll definitely be up on YouTube. So peace.
Peace.
Ski by your turn.